All right. Talk.
Chit chatting, talking.
All right, let's do audio checks now.
Waka 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 waka.
Waka waka.
Waka 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 waka.
Waka
Waka waka
Waka waka waka.
Talk,
Welcome,
talk.
waka, welcome to the
Talking,
podcast.
talking. Yeah,
Welcome,
welcome.
welcome to the
Welcome.
walk.
Weird.
Waka of the Besato Rocks.
I got there has to be a more elegant way of audio checking because this shit just never works out. Because I gotta like wait to hear myself and then everyone talks over it. So like I gotta wait to talk again afterwards. It's fine.
There is no elegance in this business.
No,
There's not.
we do it live.
Right.
Welcome to the Blue Reeds Podcast, episode number 259. I'm Adrian. That's
Hell
David
yeah.
Stells. It's been a while. There's a lot of shit that's happened.
There's been a fuck ton. We've had some ups, we've had some downs, we've had some Predator watches going on. It's been a wild time.
It has. But besides all that, though, how have you guys been? What have you guys been up to for the past week and a half, 2 weeks?
I'll let Kel go first.
I've been good, dude. Just same old. Been wrapping up set one of card games I've been playing, so that's cool. Going into set two, been getting hype, getting ready for pre-release. Other than that, we're chilling.
Hell yeah. David, you smile. There's a lot of stuff here.
It's been fucking ever eventful.
You
Got
almost
back from
died.
a wedding. Yeah, no, genuinely, the roads were fucking insane
No,
this week. I
not
don't know what the
that.
fuck going on. Oh.
There was another not so nice person around your neck of the woods.
Oh yeah, there was another pew pew incident near my neck of the woods.
Your place isn't like that big either, which is fucking weird. It's like
No, and it's weird that we've had like one a year. That's
it's yearly tradition.
high for us.
It's the same man that was like, "There's no crime that happens around these neck of the woods."
Usually there isn't. We only average like 6 murders a year. It used to be.
Oh, I love
That's
that.
like
That's
the
a good
whole
sense. We
Like,
only
that's the
average
whole
6
thing.
murders.
We average 6 murders a year. But no. So yeah, there was that whole incident. But we just got back from a wedding. It was for one of my partner's best friends. I got hooked up with a lot of free alcohol, which was great. They went ahead and they had a brewery, and I guess they did a whole like wedding reserve tab. So the bridal party all paid for it. You know, they're like, all right, everyone go drink. And apparently, this is the only time I've ever been to a wedding that this has happened. They underdrank their tab. So they're like, we've already paid for alcohol. Do you want to just go get alcohol? So me and like 3 other people just left with
Yeah,
like
usually you do the
$100
tickets.
alcohol. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then we get back to their place for an after party kind of thing, just do an additional hangout. And while we're there, the groom, he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, my family just like gets these subscription boxes to wineries, and they just constantly do wine and bourbon tours, and he just starts handing us all wine and bourbon bottles, and it's just like, okay." So I got a metric fuck ton of free alcohol.
Are you interested in that near wine?
Yeah, I am interested. I'm probably not gonna pay the money for it, but I'm
How
interested.
much was it again?
I think it was like 200 to have it imported.
I think I was just about to say, I was like, it'd be fun if we cracked that bottle open night of. That would be a very cool thing, just to say like there's nothing. it's a fucking drink, right? But like the idea of what we're doing, right? Like let's crack open the near wine and
actually
go
would be
watch a
kinda
fucking
cool.
orchestra, right? Right?
Put it in a camelback and sneak it in. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll throw that out there because
The wine, listen to the music,
I'm-
and
I
you're
am-
drinking the wine as you listen to the music.
Oh.
It's like poetry.
right. I'll mention here in a second, but yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna throw that idea out there because that just sounds like a fun thing.
You genuinely had me kind of thinking about it
Thought
now.
about that because it's a fancy ass drink too. It's not like, oh, let's go get some beers before the concert. It's like, let's drink some wine before the orchestra. David, anything else going on with you?
Work. That's about it.
Nice. So I should mention before I get into this whole spiel about how my time have gone. This is our video game podcast. We go live every Tuesday. on youtube.com/at or /Blue Rupees. I think it's that / at Blue Rupees. I don't fucking know. One of those. Try one or the other. We're not gonna be live again next week, so we're taking a break.
We're skipping next week again.
Yes, that's what I want to
Okay.
take. We were contemplating because I have a flight out at 6:30 tomorrow morning, and I still have to pack everything. So we're like, we do this. I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to miss like three weeks in a row is weird. That's too much.
Yeah, that's
Like I already feel like
being in
maybe
dangerous
2 weeks
territory at
tops
that
is
point.
like, yeah, but 3 weeks now we've gone so far. I think it was literally until last March we literally never missed an episode or never missed a week, which was wild.
yeah.
So yeah, we're here now. So it'll be a chunky episode probably, but we're starting up early, which is fine. So I went to Florida, to the
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that corner of the state or the country. It rained a lot.
Hell yeah.
Like constantly, it was like raining. Luckily, it wasn't too bad at Disney World, the House of the Mouse. Sprinkled every now and then, but it was over. Before I get into that whole spiel, I had gone to the beach the Saturday. And this is before having gone to the park. So we got there Friday. I didn't even sleep. I slept like maybe an hour or two on the plane, both rides, but that was it. So crashed out pretty early. Saturday was kind of our day to hang out and do whatever. So we went to the beach. It was like downpour fucking rain. Like it was like that like I could tell like hurricanes happen there easy. But it was like downpour rain, and we were still going to the beach, but it was like whatever. But by the time there were people there, fine. As we were hanging out there, I kept getting fucking bit by bugs. I didn't know what the fuck it was. It was like I just kept getting like little tiny stings. I'm like fuck, like it kept hitting me like everywhere. Like what the fuck are these? And so eventually, like we took off a little bit later because it was getting bad. And I look around, I see some bites. I'm like fuck, all right, cool. So we got some cream, and like by the next morning they were like okay, but I didn't think anything of it. And I don't know what the fuck happened. Whether it was because whether like I got bit all these times and didn't notice, or it's because I had worn the jeans I had worn to the beach, but changed out of, and I think maybe some bugs got in, because they're these bugs called midges. I don't know if you guys ever know what those are, midges.
No, that's an inappropriate term for a small person, Adrian.
No, I'm not saying that.
They're called dwarves.
But they're these bugs that are just like mosquitoes. They swarm. But they don't like mosquito, like you know how like it'll like stick a needle in you and like like that. They bite you.
Yeah.
And so like for about a week and a half now, I've had all these fucking bites on me. I'm not kidding. I'm probably like looking at about 200 bug bites, and you can see them all. Like you can't. There's only like you can see there. Look, there, this is easy. This is like imagine this, but like on my leg, but like double the amount.
God damn.
Yeah. I want to show, but I don't because it's fucking terrible. But like it's bad. And the girlfriend got bit, but like not that much. But holy shit. It was like fucking miserable. So I got bit, and then on Sunday we went there, and I'm like, like I didn't even really feel it that much, but like as we're like leaving, one part go to the other, it was like 6:30 or 7. We're going to do one last thing at the Hollywood park. I'm like, my ankles are fucking itchy, and I get in the car and I pull my pant leg up. I'm like, holy shit, they're fucking bad right now. And then slathered myself up with whatever I could. And next day it was like out the get go, it was burning. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a fucking hell of a day. And that was the day that we were there for like.
Instead of taking the airliner, I just realized. Come on, dude.
What?
You took a car instead of taking the airliner to Hollywood Studios. Come on, man.
Oh no.
Airliner is the best part.
Well, because we're bouncing between parks. So
yeah, from Epcot to.
Well, let me tell you, I fucked up. I royally fucked up day one.
I'm a Disney adult, dude. So.
let me tell you how I fucked up day one. Yeah. Like I fucked it up bad. I was already tired. Now I was a little grumpy because I'm like, all right, I'm off my sleep, and then being on Eastern time, right? It's like technically everything's 2 hours earlier, so I'm like already like very tired, and it's like, all right, getting up to go to Disney World is like 7 a.m. for me at that point. And we'd gotten up earlier and did all this, right? So we rented a car, 2022 Toyota Camry SE. Open the trunk. I'm clearing some stuff up, and the girlfriend's kind of standing there, and I thought she was just waiting for me. I thought, like, I don't know, I didn't think anything of it, right? I'm kind of like, my brain's kind of on autopilot. All right, so I grab my stuff and I close the trunk, and she looks at me. She's like, "Oh, I think you locked the trunk keys inside." I'm like,
Oh no.
It's one of those. So I'm like, all right, so let's see. So try to open up because I'm like, maybe the keys are close enough. I know it's still kind of far. No. Call AAA. Or we're trying to be there like around opening. So like 9 o'clock is kind of where you want to go because you don't want to waste too much time. You know, you're on time when you're at Disney. You're like, all right, you got to do everything you can.
Yep. Gotta beat the crowds.
Yep. And so she has AAA, call AAA. They get there, and I'm like in a mood. I'm like, all right. I already fucked a lot of things up. I'm like next level grumpy. She's like, I'm handling it. I'm gonna go outside and do this. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna hang inside. So they get there. I'm like, cool. I'm just on my phone doing some Marvel snapping just to get my mind off of all this. And then I hear the car alarm go off. Okay. See her standing outside. They're kind of just hanging out there. Then he leaves, and she's just kind of standing out there still. I'm like, okay. So eventually I go outside. I'm like, so? She's like, well, I guess the car knows it got opened without the key, so now it's locked itself out. Cool. Okay, but the door's open, right? So maybe you can get to the trunk from inside, right? No, you can only move the back seats down by unlocking the hatch inside the trunk.
No.
Okay, but obviously the door's open, so we could just push the button to open the trunk. No, that's locked too. So now we have to call a locksmith out there because we found that you have to open the driver's side door, pull this little like part out, and then with the certain like screwdriver, pop that open. That's how you get the trunk open. So that costs money and about an hour and a half of time. So I'm already grumpy about that, but whatever. Try to make the most of it. Yeah. So we were bouncing between parks, so that was kind of our thing. So we did Hollywood, and then we did Animal Kingdom, and it's like Animal Kingdom was the one that kind of got the least amount.
Yep.
That sucks. Like I really wanted. I was down to do all that, right? But on a time crunch, if you had to pick one, Epcot was one I've always wanted to go to. I'm like, hey, look, it's the funny giant ball thing. I always want to do that thing.
For golf ball.
Yeah. And then Animal Kingdom, I'm like, well, it's like a giant zoo with Disney stuff around there. All right, that'll be the one. Sucks, but it is what it is.
Pandora, dude.
We couldn't make it. Like it was like, and that was it also closed sooner than the other ones too.
Yep.
So we hustled there just for the Lion King thing, which is cool. Hung around for a little bit. It had just rained, so some things were closed off, but it's fine. Got back. The pro tip for anyone that's like, because you guys are going to be out of a lot of money when you're at Disney World, right? Pro tip: the place to go to is the Andy's Barbecue Playhouse or whatever I think it's called. What is it? You know what it is?
Yep.
Yeah, that's all you can eat barbecue. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
For like
45. There's another one over there called Woody's Lunchbox or something like that. That one's really good too.
Nice.
All the shit in Hollywood and Studios is fucking insane. I love that place.
Right.
Bury me at Batu, dude.
Well, before I get before I distract myself, all you can eat barbecue for like $45, which yeah, it's Disney World's expensive with food, but like that shit should fill you up like good. And it's cool. Like every 10 minutes they have like a little thing that's like you'll hear Andy come in, so everyone like freezes and stuff. It was cute. I will say the thing I'm most surprised about is how many like sit down viewing things there were. So we sat down immediately, watched the Indiana Jones thing, watched the 3D Muppets thing.
Yeah, Muppets is my favorite, dude. I love that thing. I remember going to it when I was like 8 years old, and then I went back to it last year. Me and my wife went. It's so cool.
Yeah. And then we watched the Mickey and Minnie cartoon they have there. A lot of just sit down and watch things, which I'm not a ride person, so like cool. I fucking hate roller coasters. But
that's one of the cool things about a lot of their rides, right? Is they make it into like an interactive kind of like adventure that you're watching, like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad. Did you do that one at Hollywood?
I didn't get a chance to do that one, but I know that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's essentially like you're just watching something, but you're like going through it. It's insane what they're able to do with it.
Right.
The Rise of the Resistance, Galaxy's Edge, same
Mhm.
way.
That was fun. I can't do drops.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
that was I had to get warned like about a minute or two ahead of time. Like, oh, by the way, it's a drop. I'm like, oh fuck, but it was like a small
Yeah,
one.
you
It
hit
was like,
that 0G, yeah.
um, I did do one ride that I was fucking like having a panic attack about, and that was Tron.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I haven't got to ride that one yet.
Yeah, so okay, the Genie Plus shit is like complicated as fuck if you just go into it blind. So you gotta
Sure.
do your research on it.
Oh yeah.
Which is fucking annoying. It's weird. Like it's so stupid. But like if you don't know your research, you're gonna get fucked. So we had bought it, we just fumbled the whole first days, but then she got it again. Or we got it again, and the girlfriend didn't really know what to do with it. Like she was kind of like, well, let's try. I'm like, no. The whole point is like you got to maximize the rides by picking the rides that you know are gonna have long lines, and
Yep.
kind of cutting your losses with the shorter lines.
Yep.
So I was getting those knocked off. Day 2 we knocked out a bunch of rides, so we did all that. I think that was also including Tron, if I recall correctly. But Tron and Guardians both had the virtual queue,
Yeah.
which is fucking stupid too, because if you're not there literally the second of the
Yeah,
clock,
you gotta be up like 59 and then hit it as soon as it's
yeah,
turning.
and it's
like, the next hour.
not like within the minute. It's like on the
No.
second,
Yep.
because we were in Tron, and her alarm went off, and she kind of had to pause because, a long day. I get it, but she paused. We like looked at it and looked at her phone. I'm like, why is your alarm going? Oh fuck, it's 1. App's got to load, refresh list. Guardians was done. It's already booked up, which is stupid, right? But yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna let my dog in.
Yes.
So, well, I'll wait for to talk about Tron for a second. But yeah, we knocked off a bunch of stuff. And then also, the fucking if you want to ride one of those rides, you could buy a pass for just that one ride for $15, which is insane.
Yeah, it seems excessive.
$15 for like a lightning lane pass for the ride, which is about 1.5 minutes. Like that's insane. I think that's ridiculous, especially with how much you're spending already at Disney to begin with. That's that's
Really capitalizing on the fear of someone missing out on something they really enjoy.
right. I mentioned that the lightning lane has a special one for just the Guardians and the Tron, but it's like $15 for that, which is fucking
Mhm.
insane.
I mean, and David's right. They're capitalizing on like you have limited time there. You're paying a premium already to go to the park. What's an extra $15 to make sure that you get on it?
Right.
I mean, it got me. I mean, I went whenever Guardians was new. Was the last time I went, and I
wasn't.
was like, I'm not missing this. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's,
So I mean, I know Tron's more intense, so I was like, fuck it. If I'll do
I
Tron,
wouldn't say that at all, dude.
really.
I think Guardians is probably more intense because it's dark. It's like Space Mountain combined with like an actual roller coaster. It's hard to explain really because like you're in the dark, but there's like screens everywhere. It's really disorienting. You're going fast as fuck. And like the cart itself is kind of spinning to orient you to like aim you where to look
Huh.
at any given screen at any given time. So it's mildly disorienting because I'm not someone that has like major issues on roller coasters, but that was one where I'm like, whoa, I'm getting a little bit dizzy
Okay,
here.
because I
'Cause
was
it's a lot of sensory overload.
I was looking up the stuff, and I think people were saying the opposite, but I can see it if it was like that.
I haven't rode Tron yet either.
So
I
Tron's
have no
also
clue.
inside for a lot. It's also dark, but also if you have an option, ride Tron at night.
Ooh,
Because
yeah.
everything's blue around there at the outside. It's a lot cooler there. I wrote you can't beggars can't be choosers at that point. So like we just got the first one we did. So it was midday, but I saw videos of it at night. I'm like, oh, that would have been cool. But
really the way to do it is like to get tickets to like one of the after hour type events.
Yeah.
You are gonna be paying more, but I think you kind of like if you just do that instead of doing like a regular park day and then pay the extra $15, you probably make up on it with how many times you get to ride it.
that
and all
that
stuff.
after hours thing is if you want to ride a ride. It's like you'll get ahead of everything. So we got Tron, right? I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't want to do this. But she's already gonna get on it. I'm like, well, the worst case, I'm like waiting in line. That's kind of what I did with my friend at last year. We went to Disneyland, and I just did I didn't do the Guardians right because I already did it once. I was with David on that actually. Wasn't I with you or Hollywood Terror? No,
I think so.
You know, did the Tower of Terror with you.
Yeah.
Tower of Terror with you, and I fucking hated it. And then Harry,
Yeah,
and
you
it's
don't like drops.
yeah, I fucking of all things, right?
That's all it is.
Yeah, and then bring you back. Yeah, so and then so I did Tower of Terror, and then they redesigned to do Guardians. My friend's like, you gotta do Guardians. I'm like, it's the fucking same ride, but all right.
Nah, you gotta see the pre-show, dude. You gotta get the whole story, man.
Yeah, and I just want to leave after that point, but fuck it. So I did Tower of Terror. I did the Guardians, and my friend's like, I'm gonna do Guardians. I'm like, I'll stay with you in line, but I'm out. I'm not doing that again. I'm good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, and then
I
we're
almost lost my lightsaber on Tower of Terror.
oof.
That was really bad. Cause we built one at Galaxy's Edge, and then we rode Tower of Terror. We drop, and it like comes up like off the floor, and I grab it.
That's cool. Oh, dude, that would have been a sick picture if you just like this.
That would have been so cool if it was snapped like right then, like reaching up.
Right. She wanted me to do the lightsaber thing, but she didn't know you had to book in advance for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I almost cried at it. I got very teary eyed. It's a whole like show ordeal thing.
Yeah, it's expensive as shit, but like to their credit, they make it an experience out of it. Oh, are we gonna see it? Hell yeah.
Here's my dildo.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It is expensive, but it's cool. They make the experience out of it, which is like. So I did the BB thing actually. You see it? It's right there. It's right there in the corner, right there.
Nice.
That's also cool. But yeah, so she didn't. So she learned a lot that you have to like. Disney requires some research when you're going there now. Like you can't just. It's not like let's just go and just go with the flow. It's like no, you gotta know where you're going because.
It really does. I feel like in a way kind of bad about like normies that are going and just like trying to take their family, have fun. Like I'm just imagining being like a Star Wars family or something, but you're completely like unplugged from everything. You go in like, oh, let's go build a lightsaber. Can't. Gotta be
Right.
booked. Oh, let's go to the cantina. Can't. You gotta book it. Oh,
Mhm.
let's go ride the Resistance. 2.5 hour wait.
Dude,
Oh, it's closed down. Can't.
Yeah, no. Disneyland, no Genie Pass was the reason was fucking miserable. Like lines took fucking forever. My legs were on fucking fire. The Cars ride at California Adventure took like I swear to God like 2 hours, and it's cool. Like the ride's cool, but like fucking
Not
hell.
2.5 hours
Nah,
of
I'm
like
good.
agonizing pain in the heat. Man,
Right.
fuck that.
Especially like, after I had done 2 full days. That was the last ride, and my legs were fucking on fire. It was like I want this to end.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
And you're walking like 30,000 steps at each park, pretty much. Like it's crazy.
Now, Disneyland was fucking tough last time. The humidity was rough here. The girlfriend couldn't handle the humidity. I normally can't handle humidity. I was fucking rocking with it. It was not bad for me. It was like I did not feel the heat that much. I was rocking with my I still have the Fantasia hat, David, the one that I got back there. And it's a thick hat, and it's funny because like it's older hats. They still sell them, but they're cheaper material now. So mine looks like thicker and like more like active, like so I kind of feel like an OG about it. I'm like, hell yeah.
Theirs looks like the Temu.
Yeah, a little bit. Like the material is different on there. But yeah, no. To say that there was, I think I saw a news article literally like the weekend of me going, where it's like a lot of families are putting themselves in debt to go to Disneyland or Disney World.
Jesus.
Like, cause, dude, like me and the girlfriend spent a fucking lot of money, but I'm like, all right, if we bring future kids here, it's like, so like for the first time ever, we had a sit down. We went to like sit down restaurants in there.
Yeah.
So we went to the Woody one, which is fine with the family because yeah, that's cool. But like we went to like some Mexican restaurant at Epcot, and
Pyramid.
yeah, and not in the pyramid, but the one across the way. And it was like 90 or $100 for just 2 plates of food and like 2 drinks. Not even like an appetizer.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I was like, that was the first time ever. I was like, if we're bringing kids here, we're not sit down eating. We're getting one of the food just out there. Just
Yeah,
like,
we're eating around the world, buddy.
yeah, we are not.
There's a
sitting down
margarita.
yeah, we're not sitting down eating. That was fucking expensive. Yeah, And yeah, we went to the Mexican restaurant, which I'm like, we probably she it was like comfort food for us, but like at the same time she hated it because she was like, oh, this is so not Mexican food. It's like white Mexican food because I'm like, yeah, but
It's not even like good Tex-Mex either, because I mean, there's a place for Mexican food and Tex-Mex, but then there's like this other genre
yeah,
that I can't quite pin down. It's just like plastic,
Right.
like Cisco food.
right. Um, but yeah, so we were running around in second day. We did Epcot and Magic Kingdom, and we knocked out a lot more rides there. That was kind of our plan. Was like, all right, we fumbled the first day. Let's knock out as much as we can. So we did the Laugh Factory, which is fun, and that's a good repeat because you get different comedians
Yeah.
throughout the day, and just depending on the crowd reaction, it's a whole different show. Uh,
Did you ever hear about the alien like ride slash show that they had there? It was
no,
called like Extraterrestrial or some shit like
Mm-mm.
that. So that was a big formative memory of mine growing up, because literally like right across from where Laugh Factory is in Tomorrowland.
So this is my
on the
first time
other
there.
side-
So I
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, so this was years ago whenever I was a wee young child. They had a fucking full on like horror show.
Hmm.
Like you go into it and there's like in the middle there's like this giant tube machination like thing going on. It's all sci-fi, and you all sit in chairs like surrounding it like in a big circle, and everything's happening in the middle. So the whole thing is there's like a xenomorph essentially is what it is in this tube, and the whole time scientists are talking to you, blah 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 blah. We're doing amazing thing, but what's happening? Alarms start going off, lights start going off and shit, and the alien gets out, and the whole thing's supposed to be like an interactive, like you can feel it like crawling around, you can hear it like breathing
That's
on
cool.
your neck and stuff like that. I just remember getting scared absolutely shitless by that as a child. And then I think they like it only happened for like 2-3 years or something like that, and it was deemed like too scary, so they had to get
so then
rid of it.
Universal took it.
Oh,
Right.
Um, yeah, so nothing that caliber here.
Yeah, no, not anymore. Now you have fucking Laugh Factory.
Yeah. Which again was cute. I had fun with that.
Yeah.
They really the second show, they really got the most I don't want to be your guy to be the one they picked on, which was so fucking funny.
It's always the best.
Yeah.
Did you get your medal at Buzz Lightyear though?
No.
Dude, you gotta get the high score, man.
I troll whenever I'm on that ride. I just spin myself around so whoever's with me just can't hit anything. She got really mad halfway through and just stopped shooting. I'm like, all right, I'll stop. She's like, I don't want to shoot anymore. I'm like, all right.
Joke's on her, the high target ones at the end.
Yeah, I was like, still a chance. I have a shout out to Saul. He got us into Disneyland way back 11
Yeah.
years ago, 10 years ago, one of those. I went with him again when we went back in 2019, I think. And he's like, I'm gonna go do the Toy Story. You want to do Toy Story? But since he works there, he's gone it so many times. He just knocks the high score immediately every time. He's like, cool. Like fuck. But yeah, and then Epcot. I've known what Epcot was, but I didn't know what it was. So that was cool. It's very it should really have something in the middle, because otherwise like you're fucked if you're on the other side of the park and you're like, well, I kind of want to go back now. There's like no shortcuts. You're just like, all right, walk all the way around.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did that. We did the only ride she really wanted to hit, which we were able to, which I'm glad, was the Ratatouille one, which was super fun.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
pretty much like Rise of the Resistance, which was fun to use that technology for that. Hit Jungle Cruise, she really wanted to do that. We did the Autopia, which is we had so much shit. Autopia was like one of the second to last ride we rode, and they don't have a place for you to pull out your stuff. So I had to like scrunch just like bags, and I like just could not steer. So that was interesting. But yeah, going back way back to what we were talking about. Tron was cool. I was having a massive panic attack right when I locked in, and I was like, look at her. I'm like, I don't want to do this. She's like, oh, and she was about to wave. She's gonna wave someone down. I'm like, I'm already here. Fuck it. I'm already here. I'm gonna be one of those like I could have done it if I get out now. So I'm like, fuck it. And so I felt bad, but she's like, she gave me her handle hold, and I crushed that shit. She was like,
Is
for
it
like
like the
hours afterwards, like, I
ride
cannot feel my
itself?
hand.
Is
So
it like the ride itself that makes you panic, or is it like the being locked in? Like, because
I,
their mechanism on that one's kind of weird too.
yeah, I locked you in like you're like a Tron bike.
Yeah.
I just don't like being in situations where I'm not in control,
Mm-hmm.
especially when I'm going at fast speed. Hence my hate for planes. uh, if I'm driving that fast, then I'm dying on my own accord. That's fine. But if I'm on the passenger seat doing the exact same thing, fuck that. I'm good.
Yeah, I was wondering because I was wondering what it was because I wonder how you deal with. Have you rode Flight of Passage, the Pandora Avatar
No,
one?
we couldn't make that one.
Yeah, because that one you're seated kind of the same way as Tron, and they like lock you in the same way. But the whole thing is you're flying with the Ikrams, one of the Banshees,
Mhm.
and so have you done Soren?
Yeah, so I love Soren. Soren's fun.
It's pretty much Soren, except it's kind of disorienting. It's really weird because like you're in your individual thing. It's not like you're riding with everyone else.
Hmm.
And like whenever you initially start off, it kind of like drops you into place. So probably couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And it's really disorienting. Though, like when you look to your left and right, you can see all these other people on their like little bikes or like locked in mechanisms. It's so weird.
Yeah, no, I can do Soren. So it's like
Mhm.
it's specifically like roller coasters for like just going that speed. The picture it took of us, I look locked in. I look like I'm just fucking concentrating. Like you.
That's interesting because Soren, I feel like, does the opposite. Like, I'm okay with roller coasters and shit, but Soren and stuff like that, where you're kind of just hanging there, is what makes me feel really fucking weird.
I think it's because I can dissociate what's happening to what's actually there. I'm like, yeah, I'm sitting up there, but I'm like, it's just right there. I'll break a few legs if
Gotcha.
I fall. It's fine.
I'll only be mildly hurt. I'm not hurtling at 80 miles per hour.
Yeah. I feel like I was gonna
Okay.
pass out in the middle of that, but it was good. But yeah, I think, and I got a ton of shit there, so I'll have a lot to show in the what we got situation.
Hell yeah.
Let's
Hell
jump
yeah.
into that then. David, what did you get?
Hell yeah. So I talked about the copious amounts of free alcohol I got. I also got some import goodies. I got the second Super Robot Wars Alpha. I'm a big fan of Super Robot Wars. Slowly work on
You're
getting
exactly
all of them.
right. That clip that Kel's already just said. Hey, what'd you get? I got this this game where you're two
Oh yeah, the
cheerleaders in
sushi
space.
game. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I do have that sushi game
Oh, yeah.
downloaded to play
I
because it did look fun.
I believe it.
And then I got Atelier Ellie. I now have, I think I'm like 3/4 of the way through the Atelier series, so almost have all of them. Then, of course, I had to get this Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. Eventually, I'll be going through this bad boy. I'm excited to see the new content. Everyone that I've seen talk about it has basically said that Vengeance is to 5 what Royal was to Persona 5.
Okay.
Except it's
it's more of,
actually
like,
an
Guardian
entirely
Switch, too.
new story from the ground up.
Hey, I this is totally off topic. I just remember
Yo.
something I want to test with Kels. Kels, what's that? Actually, hold on. I'm gonna type this in the chat. I want you to say this word. I'm not trolling you or anything. How do you read that word?
Fuck you.
Ikaruga.
David, one more time for this is a big callback. How did you say?
I had only ever heard of the game called Ikaruga for the longest fucking time.
I don't know what game we're talking.
That's so Ikaruga's a game.
The bullet hell come up.
Oh, okay.
And David announced or said it's so fucking weird. It threw me and Gore off. Like, what the fuck are you saying? And he said he's only ever heard it said that way. So me and him had to pull up like 2 or 3 clips of people just saying Ikaruga because we're like, no one says it that way. Anyway, continue. Sorry, I don't know why it just threw me. It just reminded me of that.
Then I got some more imports here. PlayAsia had a good sale going on, so I got a few things. One, I got the collector's edition for this. It's called All Days. It's a VR visual novel game that has some giant robot combat. Fuck it, why not? It was $20 for the collector's edition.
What's up, pepperoni?
VR
And
and
then
visual novel are not two like genres I'd expect to go together.
no, that it was intriguing, and for
See,
$20, sure.
I disagree. I feel at this point, I feel like you can input whatever word you want with visual novel, and I'll expect there to be something of it.
Fair. Speaking of visual novels, got another one here. Miracle Snack Shop. And then I got this one just because it looked fucking goofy as hell.
A goofy movie.
Yes.
Hell
Followed by an
yeah.
extremely goofy movie. But it's Quaden, Your Manor Story. It looks like a schlocky B movie as a video game. And I am all about that kind of it's not showing up well on the camera.
I zoomed in for you right now if you want to try one more time. Kinda.
There we go. It's showing up a
There
little
we
bit better.
go.
There you go.
It's because I still got the wrapping on it, so it's being reflective and shit. And then the last thing I got was not part of the sale, but I needed to add something else to my cart for free shipping, and I wanted to get this anyways. And it's the Goblin Slayer game they did a little bit ago. So, and I completely forgot that they did a strategy RPG for Goblin Slayer. So, like, yeah, I'll get a Goblin Slayer strategy RPG. Why not?
Hmm.
So that's the last thing I got. I mean, there's of course digital shit, but don't care.
Kels.
So I did a comic book pickup.
David,
Hell
I'm gonna
yeah.
scoot
Let
in
me
just a
hop
little
in
bit,
just in
David.
time.
Me?
Yeah, there you go. Cool. Go for it, Kels.
Yeah, first we have old Geiger here. Issue number 3. We're getting a few deep. Still running good. Here's the Ultimates. I showed off the foil cover I got of this last week. Here's the regular cover because I was too impatient
Okay.
to wait. I wanted the foil because the foil was awesome. Blood Hunt, another
Nice,
Red Band
nice.
number 3. Looks like Miles is a vampire in this one. Need to read it still. Some more Ultimate X-Men. More Peach Momoko. She's doing absolutely amazing things with the Marvel stuff now that she's actually able to use it, and it's not like Off-Brand Iron Man like it was in Demon Days. Here's Avengers Twilight, Mr. Hulk. Still need to catch up on this one too. I've only read through 3, I think. And then last but not least, Ultimate Spider-Man. This one I think is definitely my favorite of all the Ultimate lines going on right now. It's really good. They've kind of taken a lot of the usual like Peter stuff and kind of like flipped it on its head in like a really great way. Like his family is in on him being Spider-Man now, so it's like it's not like you have to keep it hidden from them and it being used against them. It's kind of like everyone's in on it, everyone's a part of it. We're all Spider-Man here. And then last but not least, I got this hardcover deluxe
Nice.
edition for Geiger.
That looks good.
Big boy. It's his it's a collection of like all the previous stories before Jeff Johns got the Ghost Machine imprint through Image. So the big thing with Image Comics, I don't know if you know, they're creator first. They don't take like rights into any of the comics that people bring forward, like Invincible, Walking Dead was another one, Geiger, the stuff that Jeff Johns is doing. So he recently got the imprint to do Ghost Machine, which is Geiger and all of his IPs like off to their side. So it's really cool. He's just able to kind of keep creative control over it and kind of deal with it as he please, make money off of it, and super artist forward. Love it.
Nice. That about it?
That's it.
Cool. All right. Where do I start? I got a fucking lot of stuff. Okay.
Comes back with 2 Infinity Gauntlets, 1 on each hand.
Yeah, they had a Black Panther Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, right. So these are not related. These I didn't pack any rain shoes right away. I'm like, fuck. All right, well, this is already gonna be an issue. So I'm just gonna say it. The girlfriend hates Crocs, like fucking hates them. I'm like, you know what? Like, I think you might want to because they're gonna help. She ended up getting blisters actually on the second day, but that was because of her Converse. So the Crocs did help. But we
Converse
went.
are like the worst shoes to wear to Disney.
Converse?
No padding. It rains. They're gonna get stinky as hell.
Yeah, we didn't expect the rain, but I mean, we've never been there, which that was a bad move on our end. We walked inside, and she was like loathing it. She's like, I don't want to be in here. And then we look, and I see on the wall, buy 2 get 2 on the clearance. I'm like, wonderful. I was like, we're gonna get some pairs. So I got myself a regular pair of blue ones. They're somewhere around there. I saw these things there. Saw them my size, and I've known about these ones. And I saw one on her size too. So I'm like, we got matching ones, and she was really upset about it. But we got them. So I got some Margaritavilles.
Nice. R.I.P.
That's
Jimmy B.
Actually, a pick in there. It's a pick holder. There's a pick in there. It's great. So shout outs to the Margaritavilles. Damn hates Crocs and Kendrick's not like us on loop. What? I'm confused with that. It might just be me. I'm misreading stuff. Let's see. Naturally, I had to get some ears. I got these ears first. Cause I was looking around like, what ears do I want? I almost got the Ratatouille ones, but I was like, I saw these ones earlier. I'm like, these ones look cool. So these are the Guardians ears.
Nice.
And then I was like, all right, that's fine. I got mine. But it always happens. Seriously, I weighed all 2 parks. Got that. Went to Disney Springs the next day, like on the final day. And I saw these ears. I didn't see them anywhere else. And I'm like, oh, fucking hell. So I had to buy them right away. These are the up ears.
Nice.
And this is detachable.
Oh,
So you can actually detach this in the clip-on bow tie. And I was like, all right, you got me. I fucking love up.
I wish they had like more like masculine skewed like ear styles. Like they used to have hats with ears on them.
They have a
And I
few,
miss
but not
that.
really anymore. I almost bought there was like
Because I had a blank black just flat bill hat that had ears on it that I got from there.
yeah,
and that
they
was,
have
like,
some
perfect.
still. I almost got the safari. There's like a safari hat with Mickey ears on it, but it was like
Yeah.
for a kid though.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. But yeah, it sucks because like I do like the ears too, but they all come in a little bit more feminine, which nothing wrong with it. But it's like I just want something a little more mine, which is
Yeah.
cool. Like I'm not against it, but
I want black ears that go with everything, bud. I'm not trying to have a signature outfit for every pair of ears.
even like the Spider-Man ones, like they were all like had like a fluffy ribbon bow
Hmm,
in the middle,
yeah.
but they had the Gwen Stacy ones too. So it's like, come on, give me something. Let's see. These are unrelated. I got these yesterday because we were going to we walked inside Box Lunch and they were like 50% off on some things. So I bought I bought these 2 things. Well, first I got this Mickey jersey, hockey jersey.
That's sick. Okay.
I bought this though, a Shrek hockey jersey.
That's
Hell yeah.
You know what we're rocking on Shrek 5 Day. Let's see. I have here's a pro tip. If you are at a Disney park and you like something, please look it up online and see if it's cheaper for any reason, because there are times that it is. So I was walking around, I saw this because I had the Fantasia hat, so I saw this Mickey. I'm like, hell yeah! It was like almost $40, but I looked online. It was on sale for 22 free shipping on Disney Store. Cool. Put that guy back. Got that guy. It's because it was a Pizza Planet shirt I really wanted. I avoided it because I'm like, I have too much clothes. It's fine. And then last second, I was Disney Springs. I'm like, all right, I need a shirt to wear on the flight because I just had a bunch of like the nice button up shirts, and I was like, well, I got bites all over me. I want something a little more soft. So it's like, all right, I'll get a Pizza Planet shirt because I was like eyeballing it earlier. I'm like, all right, I'll grab it. And they had the Pizza Planet, like the white one, but they had like the aliens marked all over it. And I was like, I really wanted that one. And then Disney Springs, I'm like, I'll grab it. They didn't have anything below XL. I'm like, fuck. So, but I bought 2 other Pizza Planet shirts that are getting clean because I used them. I got the classic red shirt, and then I got a black button up that had Pizza Planet all over it. Black one would have been cheaper online if I had looked ahead of time. Is what it is. April Rain said, good to never been to Disneyland in all of my 19 years. It's fun to go to eventually. Like, I think everyone should go to it, but also plan.
I had no
Put
desire to
yourself
ever go
in
back
doing it.
personally,
No,
but
I'd say go once just to see what it is because it's cool. But like, especially if you're not a Disney person, like, there's not really the biggest thing to go to, but it's
Yeah,
fun
there's
to like
nothing for you if
experience,
you're
see
not
how
a
it is
Disney
inside.
person. Even if like you're just going for rides, I mean, there's better places with better rides, cheaper
Yeah.
deals that you can go to.
Right. Even your local like fair could have probably something better, honestly. But it's expensive, and it's like it's really for the people that like love Disney. You can tell. I'm telling like it's family, and they have like Papa Mouse written on theirs and Sister Mouse
Yeah.
and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah. They have like themed shirts for the whole family and shit.
Which
yeah.
it seems cringy, but also a fantastic idea because I can imagine being a parent of like 3 kids taking it there. I'm like, where the fuck are all 3 of you guys at all times? We're wearing matching shirts. Speaking of Pizza Planet, I didn't buy anything like really until I got to the Toy Story store. That Toy Story is my shit. That's I love Toy Story. So I got myself this Pizza Planet pizza cutter.
Nice.
I'm a lot easier talking to things that have practical use behind it. And I'm like, yeah, I'll use that. I got a Pizza Planet gloves because mine current ones are like burnt up. Whoops. That. Let's see. Oops. I got I always like to get one of those little things that sit on your shoulder now too.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking for the Ratatouille one. Some people were Ratatouille, but I guess people just happen like just for whatever reason. Some people just like a lot of people wore the Ratatouille ones, so I couldn't find those around there. But I did get Zero, lights up,
Nice.
cute little guy. Let's see. Had to get my aliens. This one looks funny because it's all cross-eyed. And then I got this one. It's one of those magnet ones that can clasp onto things. A cute little thing there. Okay, move all those things. Got myself a Rex. Had
That's
to.
sick.
I had. Oh, this thing. The girlfriend went to Disneyland Paris in
Oh,
November.
that's sick. Fuck
And
yeah.
and she said she saw this. 'Cause I told her I was like, I had this thing as a kid. Don't know. I didn't know. At this point, it probably got tossed or something, or sold in a yard sale or something. But had this thing as a kid. I always wanted another one because this is my favorite fucking toy in Toy Story, and it's incredibly underrepresented. So I found RC. She said she saw RC
Hell
in
yeah.
Paris. We were walking around the Toy Story store. I saw it. I'm like, cool, bought.
I had one of those too growing up.
I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
At the Animal Kingdom thing, this thing was like 40% off, so I was like, why not? Got myself a penguin. Why
Hell
not?
yeah. Support the Pingus, dude.
Right. So I have my friend that was watching out for my cat. She loves Disney. She's the one I went to Disneyland with last year. She just gave me $300. She's like, you know what I like? Buy stuff for me. And I got her like, she's into pins, so I got her like 2 pins for each park. I got her like, and she just had 2 things. She's like, loves Haunted Mansion, loves Pirates of the Caribbean. Cool. So I hunted down the
You
Mickey
knock
and-
those out in one park. Fuck yeah.
right. Mickey and Pluto. They had some at the Pirates thing. I blew through all of her money, and then I ended up buying her those lounge fly bags for Haunted Mansion. But dude, if I was a girl, I'd have so many of those fucking bags.
That's what I'm saying too. Like, I think they're supposed to be coming out with like more masculine ones, but they're nowhere near as cool as the ladies' like small bags.
Dude, there's so many
Yeah,
cool designs on there.
They're so sick.
And she has a lot, and she made a rule with whenever we hang out. She's like, don't let me buy bags because she has a lot, and they're expensive.
Yeah.
But I broke the rule for the first time in a year with her because I was like, well, you're feeding my cat and giving her the insulin. Which, side note, she's still very high in the blood sugar, but it's going down little by little. So we'll see how that keeps going. But she's also gonna watch my cat for the next 2 weeks. So I was like, yeah, I'll get her something. So I got her the Madam, I forget her name right now.
Madam Web.
Yeah, Madam Web. I got whatever that was on the thing there. But anyway, when I got her the some pirate stuff, saw this monkey there. The girlfriend wanted the monkey. I said, we'll get the monkey. All right, still going.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well,
This man
the
got
way
rid of any savings he had.
This man flew
So,
with a shit ton of stuff.
the girlfriend's primary love language is gift giving, so she's all about it. And she's also like, well, it's also mine too, so I'm like, that's fair. Also, I don't see myself going to Disney World potentially ever again. Maybe if not for a long, long time. Disneyland, sure, but like, if I'm there now, just do that, you know. Disney Springs, I saw this cool bucket hat that was Coke and had the Mickey on it, so I'm like, cool.
Dude, did you go to the Coke spot there in Disney Springs?
That's why I got that at.
Nice. Did you try any of like the crazy drinks that they have?
No, I wanted to. We were running low on time. We saw because we're stuck on AMC A list. They make you stay on for 6 months before you can cancel it again without doing a cancellation fee, which I'm like, oh fuck. Now whenever we're traveling, I'm like, all right, where's the Dolby Theater? Let's go watch something to make our money worth out of it. Okay, it pays for itself in like one of those. So we both saw Inside Out in Dolby. Good movie. I think Inside Out 2 feels like a return to Pixar at its like most wholesome, like what it's trying to do. Because I feel like it deviated a little bit into like, I don't know what to say. It lost a lot of heart. But
a lot of people say that, but Turning Red made me cry. So
I haven't seen Turning Red, to be fair. I haven't seen Turning Red.
Although Turning Red does hit like an extra chord with me, just the whole Asian family dynamic. So it kind of does hit like the extra chord.
It's like me and Coco.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is that representation mattered to you in that moment.
Wow, that's
Bro,
crazy. Imagine that.
I get.
So the thing about Turning Red too is like it hits a lot of notes for me. It's the Asian family. It's a story about coming into like preteen age in the mid 2000s. There's just a lot of things going on at once where it's like I can smell it. It's coming back to me.
What's the Aquafina movie that A24 did?
Oh fuck yeah!
know what
It's the
I'm
one
talking
about like so, she comes back for like a funeral in the family.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up because now I'm already frustrated. I don't know what it. Did you like that one?
I didn't watch it. I need to.
Because you tell me that in the
Everything
two movies.
Everywhere All at Once made me fucking cry too. I just any family
What was it?
oriented.
Was it
like,
one?
Everything Everywhere All at Once. Since we're
Yeah.
just going to Asian
yes.
movies, just
The
like
Farewell.
Asian family dynamics. The Farewell. There we go.
And then did you like? I mean, I feel like I'm stereotyping him. I'm really hoping.
No, like
Crazy Rich Asians.
I didn't watch that one.
Okay, that was also great though. I like that one a lot too. But I haven't seen Turning Red, to be fair. I just think.
I just know that's one of them that get held up in like the whole culture war with Pixar and are they too woke and shit like that.
Yeah, I don't.
I feel like that one is a terrible example.
So that's what we're saying.
Just by those people.
Yeah, I get it's so funny when they're like, oh, the representation like doesn't matter. It's like you don't think it matters because you're represented all the time.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you're not getting represented and the fact that you're frustrated right now is literally the inverse situation. Like flip that around. You're frustrated that like, oh, look at all the other stuff that doesn't show me.
Yeah.
Congratulations, we learned something today.
Right. Now Luca, I'd say I was more lukewarm on. It was kind of like
Hey.
I don't know if the story went anywhere.
Yeah,
So-
I like Soul. Also, shout out just
Yeah.
for like the fact that Trent Reznor's just doing a fucking Pixar
Yeah.
movie score. Never would have guessed in a million thousand years.
No.
I don't know, I think they're so good, but some of them don't hit as hard. That's kind of where I'm at. I think they.
Oh, don't worry. We'll get Toy Story 5 and it'll be hitting just as mild as everything else.
I never felt like we needed Toy Story 4, but I didn't. I
No.
liked it still. I'm like,
Toy
I
Story
liked
3 was perfect.
Toy Story. Yeah, so that's
I
where I'm
still
at.
haven't watched 4 yet. I'm
The
Don't
worried
girlfriend
about
hasn't
it.
watched 3, which frustrates me. I'm like, you gotta watch 3.
Yeah,
And
that's
I-
what I said.
And I fucking love it because it aged perfectly with me. It was like
Yeah.
my graduating year, and Annie's like, I'm going off to college. I'm like, fuck. Oh no, you're leaving your toys. This is gonna be cringe. What I'm gonna admit is super cringe. But I have this like, my mom would even like paint my walls when I was a kid, like with the Andy clouds and all that.
Mhm.
But I had just such a fucking strong affinity for Toy Story and a lot of Pixar earlier stuff like Up is
Yeah.
fantastic, Monsters Incorporated. But like Toy Story is the one that hit me. So like I have a thing, especially when I think of like all my my stuff. I can't abandon shit like the toys. I just feel so fucking bad about abandoning toys. So I feel bad like this fucking alien, the little like clasps, right? This one, the one I picked up, the magnets were a little weak. Like they still snap, but they were a little weak. Picked this one up like it's stronger. I put that one down, and I'm like, Oh no, I just rejected that one. Oh no. I don't know why. It just like as a kid, it just like stuck to me. But I don't know. Like, I understand some woke conversations where it's like interjecting it, just to interject it. Yeah, that's like have some agency to it, right? Don't just do it and just say, all right, we did it. Like, put some gusto to it. But
Oh yeah, Lightyear was terrible. Never mind.
yeah,
Kept raving
I've
about it.
not watched Lightyear, and I'm morbidly curious, but I'm also not. I'm like, I just feel like it's gonna fuck with my
We
perception
had
of things.
Buzz Lightyear's Star Command already, and that TV show was perfect. We didn't need Lightyear.
But Toy Story 4, we didn't need. It was fine. I liked it still. I don't know how I feel about 5. I'm like, at this point, it should have moved on from Andy. It should have been like, all right, if you're gonna do something, just do all the other different toys. If you want cameos, maybe you can have like, oh look, they're looking at Woody's show on TV or something. Like,
Or we already established there's like a million Buzz Lightyears. Like we could meet another Buzz Lightyear or something,
Right.
or like it
Yeah.
be a flashback or a flash by something.
right,
Oh,
but it was such a poignant ending for Toy Story 3. Also, shout out.
perfect ending.
I'll
One
never
of my
never
favorite
not
movies.
mention it, but I love that YouTube video where they cut the Toy Story 3 off at the incinerator. Did you ever see that video?
No.
So there's a video. It's old. It came out like around when Toy Story 3 came out, where this family knows the mom wanted to watch Toy Story 3 but didn't get a chance to watch, so they got the video and they ended it like they faded out credits when you see the toys holding hands going in center. They faded credits there, and they held on to that. They're like, I can't believe that they did that. I know it's crazy, huh? But it was like, it's sad, but at least they died together. Yeah, and they like kept it going until like they're at dinner later that night, and the mom was like, I still can't fucking believe that they died. And the dad didn't know what was going on. He's like, what? They died. What are you talking about? In Toy Story 3, that's how it ended. No? What's going on? And they start busting out laughing, and they showed her afterwards. It's a great video. Go watch that. It's so good. I feel so bad. I'm like, oh god. But yeah, I Inside Out 2 just you know what? I'll say this. It felt like the first sequel Pixar movie in a while that felt like it was needed. Like it was like, all right, I could see the trajectory, and I could see Inside Out 3 is gonna happen eventually too, right? Like I could see that, and it'll be her as like becoming an adult, right? It's like here's her as a kid, here's her as a teen, it writes itself. It writes itself so
Yeah,
fucking easily, and it's great. Like I think that's a great way to go about it too.
Yeah, it's a
So
trilogy too. Good things come in threes.
yeah, and then Inside Out 4 where they die and they talk about death all the time or something. Watch.
Yep.
No,
No, that was Soul.
Soul. Yeah, I like Soul a lot. I think
No, they're
you know
talking
what though?
about death. That was Soul.
I
they got that out there.
I hate to be this person. I think that Soul, I think it just lost a little bit of its edge just not being in theaters.
True. Yeah.
I think it just didn't feel as grandiose as like a Pixar movie can be because it was not in theaters. But I think if it was, it would have held that firmness. I think with it.
I forgot about it until you brought it up.
Disney. That was COVID times.
Yeah.
Speaking of Pixar, saw this shirt and I was like, hell yeah, it's a cool ass shirt.
That is dope.
Yeah. And so on some outfits, me and the girlfriend like the match like that Mickey one. She got a mini one, but I got that shirt. She's like, oh look, a bag. I can match when you wear that shirt. She looked at it. It was like $300 for that bag. She's like, nope, we're not doing that. I'm like, yeah, we're not doing that. Absolutely. I saw this yesterday at the mall. I got Lemonade Mouth vinyl. You know,
Of course you did.
you know I'm in that movie, right? Right, Kels?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I'm an extra in that movie. I'm in that production like
That's
a
awesome.
lot. Like I was there for most of it to the point where I was one of the preferred extras. So like even the one day where they only need like 10 of us, they kept us on there and they're like, well, we don't have 10 extras, so you guys can eat with the crew. So like hell yeah.
Nice.
So I was there eating with my future crush Jasmine of Aladdin.
I could have been an extra on Twisters too,
Why weren't
Hell yeah! Why didn't you?
because I'm a lazy asshole.
Hey, I think being extra is super fun. I think everyone should try it. It's super interesting situation, and you get paid, and they pay you per day, which is interesting.
Mhm.
But anyway, so I have something I know. I was like when I was going through my because obviously we oh yeah also speaking of matching stuff, I got Mickey and Minnie aprons because again practical
Nice. Yeah.
practicality. So as we're going through, I still got more stuff right. I'm like, yeah, Adrian, you spent a lot of money, right? I'm like, I know. So we're going through it. I'm like, Epcot. I'm not gonna spend that much at Epcot. What the fuck am I gonna buy at Epcot? Like,
Food.
well, food, yeah, right. But even then, I'm like, but I don't factor the food part. And I'm like, all right, it's
Yeah.
like that's separate. But like
Boy math. Yeah.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize this is gonna be the only place ever I'm gonna see the Caballeros.
Mm,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Oh shit!
those are my fucking dudes. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
I love the Caballeros.
Did you ride the ride?
Yes, I did.
yeah.
Absolutely. I didn't know it was like it's a small world, but just videos
Yeah.
and caballeros. But I'm like, hell yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I gotta be on a budget. I gotta watch my money. But I'm like, but, and she saw me. I'm like, how often am I gonna fucking see caballero merch ever? It's not gonna happen. So I got this fucking jacket with the caballeros on it, which I think was great.
That's fucking wild.
And I saw these guys. I'm like, hell yeah,
Oh hell yeah.
fuck yeah,
In the
dude.
ride boat. That's awesome.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh shit!
But I'm like, those are my fucking dudes. I'm gonna like, I do never see those merch anywhere else, right? So it's like,
No.
yeah. So I'm like, I
I'm
will,
surprised they're even acknowledging the new DuckTales series.
right? And I feel like caballeros are like one of those that could just get buried and it's like kind of like, oh, you might see them in like a 2-second clip somewhere in a montage. But I was like, hell yeah, if I'm never gonna see that merch again, so fuck yeah, I'll buy some. All right.
Part of me wants them to change like all the stuff over there to like Coco stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, I still want them to like forget about and get rid of the Caballeros.
You know what? In a perfect world, they do both.
Right, exactly, exactly. In the perfect world, they're both there, thriving, existing, moisturized.
I
in
will
their own
say,
lanes.
I did want to go on It's a Small World there because I always go on that at Disneyland. And I was
Why?
curious. You know why? Well, because first off, it's cool. When you need to get out of the heat, sitting in that place, and it's like nice, cool air conditioner. It's the ride you're kind of just drifting around for a while.
Yeah.
I fuck with that.
Splash the water up in your face.
Yeah, you're not supposed to because you might lose a hand that way, but it's cold water, so fuck it.
Dip your nuts in.
You might see a guy naked in there like that, like a couple weeks ago, right?
Oh yeah.
Good times. But I was curious because I was like, I wonder if the It's Small World is the same at Disney World as it was Disneyland. It's not. Disneyland's infinitely better
Oh, I can only imagine.
because they actually used the Disney characters inside of it too. So like you see in the Western land, like you'll see the Cowboys, but you see Woody and Jesse there. In when you're doing all the Mexican like the Dias de los Muertos and stuff, you'll see Miguel there. You'll see like it's cool, like they'll incorporate Disney characters in there. And in the Disney World one, is like you just see the
It's a fucking fever dream, dog.
yeah. All right, I got one last thing from Disney, and then I got a couple other things. All right, you're gonna wonder. This is the coolest thing I bought there.
Epic Mickey mentioned in chat. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, so we're talking about my love for Toy Story.
Bug
all right?
snacks.
Yeah, talking about bug snacks.
We go to the Toy Story store. I see this, and I play with it for like 5 minutes. I was losing my goddamn mind.
It's his dick. It was the first time he found it.
Calm down, Dr. Disrespect. So I'm just doing this, and I'm having even a kid comes up there and starts like messing with the toys too. I'm like, holy shit, this is so fucking cool. But you can't just buy one. Doesn't make sense. You'll see in a second. Okay, but I'm like, I gotta walk away. It sucks, but I gotta walk away. Walked away. Go back to we go back through Hollywood because we're going to do the Annie thing. I see these things again. I start playing with them. Another 5 minutes, and I'm like. And then the girlfriend just sees me. She's like, look, you buy one, I'll buy you two. I'm like, all right. They're $25 each, so it's already not the worst thing in the world, but kind of. Okay, so I got this guy, right?
Mmm.
Are you wondering, okay, that's cool, right? Like, let's see.
The mystic portal awaits.
Okay, cool, right? He speaks. That's cool. Why, hey, Adrian? What do you mean? Why do you need multiple ones of these? Okay.
Because there's always at least our trio.
No, because you're gonna see the coolest fucking thing ever. And the girlfriend saw me. She's like, I know you would have regretted this if you'd walked away, so we had to get it for you. I'm like, I agree. Check this out.
A mystic portal awaits. Ooh. The claw. Ah.
When one talks, the other ones reply back to it.
They're Furbies. Got it.
I was having so much fun with this. So much that so we got trolled. So we're sitting there like I'm playing with this and she's already trying to talk me into it. I'm like, all right, I'll buy it, but I'm still playing with it. And then then one of them starts saying something on its own. I'm like, holy shit. Can you say ooh and the fucking thing responds to you? She's like, no, it's the button. I'm like, it just talked on its own. She's like, no, it doesn't. Look, ooh. And then they did it. She's like, what the fuck? And we're like, holy shit. No fucking way. So I grabbed 3 and we walked to the counter and the girl behind the counter is like, I was messing with you guys. I had one behind the counter. I'm like, all right, well, we bought 3 anyway, so what the fuck ever. So now I'm gonna wait for my trip and see how the damage is when I come back because I still owe David some money. And after this trip, I'm no longer cut off with this fucking money and stuff. I'm like, all right, I'm good. But I have a eBay watch for these now. So whenever I see a cheap one on eBay,
A mystic
Gotta
portal
hoard 'em.
awaits.
it's so fucking fun though. I was playing, and imagine they have like 8 or 9 of these together. So you push one and just like 8 aliens all speak back to you. I'm like, all right, yeah, you got me. But yeah, that I had to. And I admit it. Right when I bought, I was like, yeah, that was the purchase because I would have felt so bad if I had just not done that. Just like you would have. All right. Let's see. David, I am with you on this. I also went down that journey with you, so I got that guy. We'll stay sealed for a little bit though, obviously for obvious reasons. Saw this for $17 on GameFly. That was a super sweet spot on there, so grab that. I backed this and I forgot to do the backer kit on it. I was like,
Oh shit.
what the fuck ever happened to that game? Oh shit! All right, cool. So I have this Uden Chronicles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I forgot to do the back kit on that. I hope they still honor it. No problem. Mega 64 had a whole a Blu-ray collector's edition, so I grabbed that because shout outs to the public access thing. I love the old school stuff. A piece de la resistance today though. I got it.
Nice.
Yes.
Sold out in 3 minutes.
Wild.
Yeah, people were frustrated, rightfully so. I get it. I also get that it's because I didn't realize that the name Thermos is like
Copyright.
it's like a Band-Aid, right? Everyone says Band-Aid, but it's like no, that's an actual copyright. So it's a Finnish company that makes those specialty, which is why they don't have they can churn out a couple thousand, but like that's like they're not even like a company that does that. They do like lights and stuff. So they're like, all right, we're doing that, but it's like they can't make all that many, which sucks because like there's a huge demand for it. But also this thing is fucking like super fucking solid quality. I'm not gonna use it. I was wondering, like, so me and the girlfriend both got to check out, and I was like, ooh, can we? No, I shouldn't spend more. But I thought of just keeping one because the box is also fucking cool.
Oh,
A
that
nice
is sick.
box, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, do I display it? Because I would also love to use this thing because thermoses are just fucking cool. But yeah, no, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Because it's also glass though too. It's got glass interior. So I'm like, you know what? All it takes is me fucking up once and fumbling that thing, and now it's busted, and I don't have a cool set piece. But it fits with the set piece stuff. If they ever get to a point where they're able to make more, I'll probably grab another one just to use. But is what it is. They actually had a post on their Twitter where the guy was kind of venting. Where he feels bad because like I would love to because they took down their merch shop finally, which doesn't really have that much. I had like 2 shirts, but they had like the logo on it. It wasn't really anything interesting. But they're like, it sucks because we want to do more merch, but like it takes us away from actual game creating because it's just so much to juggle, and it's like it's interesting because like there are ways that other companies do merch. Someone's just a fan gamer, which I'm like, yeah, do fan gamer. Like I feel like that small studios do that, but he's like I don't even understand how small studios do that, which is how much commitment it is. It could be because being an overseas team too, though, you know.
Yeah. And I'm sure they are probably not that other companies aren't, but I'm sure they're very particular with what they want to do with it.
So that's what they
And
mentioned too. He's like, we very much want to keep the quality high, meaning that we don't want to just like shop it out to the first cheap thing ever. We don't want people going off with like cheap merch. We want to make sure it's
You're
like
not gonna go to Teespring and here you go, your official merch.
right. But they want to make it as official as they could, which like right, like they get a Finnish company to make those things the exact way you see in the game, which is cool. But it's like it's hard for them to keep up with that. So I feel for them on that. But
It does suck though, because that's just money that they're kind of like leaving on the table, and other people.
at that point, it's like at that point you probably hire someone just to run all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
There's probably so much money that they're losing to, like David said, Teespring, Redbubble, shit like that.
Yeah, no, there is.
Etsy. There's
I mean,
probably
shit.
so much money left on the table from that.
Even the angel lamp that's in the collection edition, that was like going off Etsy. Like a lot of stuff's just off Etsy. They had oh dear mugs that they had for a little while in the store. Those are all over Etsy for sure too. So it's like, yeah, I think at this point, like, and I think Remedy has enough of the cult fan base now, pun intended, I guess, cult, that they can probably just get away with a bunch of merch stuff. I'm sure the merch sales will be fine with them to would offset hiring someone brand new. All right, I think that's it. Finally, yeah. All right, David, what'd you play this week?
Oh yeah, I haven't had a ton of time in the game, but I have played a couple things. I've been playing EDF 5 with some of my friends, as EDF 6 is officially 1 month away from full launch. So a buddy of mine that hasn't finished EDF 5 yet, we've been going through that with him, as EDF 6 directly takes place after 5. And I'm curious how that's going to happen, just because of how EDF 5 ends. I don't know how you continue from there. But I'm excited to see it. So I've been playing through that again. I've also started up Life is Strange. I finished the first chapter. I am conflicted. I'm having fun with the vibe of the story so far, but I feel like a lot of it, unless they really do a lot to kind of swerve you, I feel like a lot of it's kind of predictable.
I mean, if you're talking like at this point, it's like what, a 10-year-old game, and I can imagine stories that just kind of just really built up since then, right?
Well, it's more so the fact that like the game already kind of sets up the stake from the beginning,
Yeah.
and understanding the concept of
Literally,
what the
man.
game is about. It's like, oh, I'm gonna have a choice. I'm either gonna have to do something to save this town or not save this town. So it leaves you in this interesting flux where it's like, none of what I do matters.
That's not true. Because remember, the new game, the technically sequel to it, is going to let you decide what ending is canon.
Yes, but none of what you do in the first game technically matters. Because if you're ultimately building to a point where you're either going to save the town or not, it doesn't matter what leads you to that point. Because I'm going to presume the way you're going to save the town is still a big rewind to undo shit.
Kinda, yeah, but there are minute choices that get made in between.
And I see some of the ramifications of that, like with the rich punk kid, and if you decide to rat on him and not, and with the girl at school that's getting bullied. I'm sure there's some overarching elements, but at the same time, I can't imagine their end state matters by the time you make the final decision. So that's why I'm kind of like,
Game's gone by.
yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm curious to see how the game actually fully plays out. But I feel like they have written it in such a way that it kind of doesn't matter how it plays out.
Sure.
I don't know how I feel about that. But I'm going to give it a chance. Other than that, not anything worth kind of going into in any detail now.
Everybody said playing Fallout 4, and then yeah, EDF has Earth Defense Force 5.
Hell
Pretty
yeah.
great Fallout with that new next gen update.
Yeah.
Cal's, what you been playing?
Mainly a bunch of Elden Ring. So not the DLC yet. So
Good, because it's too hard.
Yeah, exactly. Can't beat it. It's so tough. So I initially started the week before last, a few days before the DLC came out, because I was like, all right, I'm gonna get ready for the DLC. I'm gonna go finish out my where I was on the playthrough before I drop the game after playing way too much of it the first time on release. So I picked it back up, got back in the swing of it, got to where I need to be for the DLC, beat the bosses I need to. We're good. And then my buddy that I usually like will experience these with my first time through, we'll play together, have fun time, laugh at it, whatever. He's on vacation right now. He's getting back this week. So I figured I'm just gonna keep on playing through it, go ahead and complete it, get to where it's the story like will either be beat it or pretty much where it's I can't go back.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. I'm just trying to get through the bosses. I think I have like 2 more main bosses left, and then it's just getting whatever I want to get into the DLC.
Nice.
But yeah, that's that. And there's a new Star Wars mobile game that's on Switch as well. Played a few rounds of that on Switch. It's pretty fun. Nice little free game.
Not addicted
Nothing
yet.
big. Do what?
Not addicted yet.
I didn't hear you, my bad.
Not addicted.
No, not addicted. No, it's called Star Wars Hunters. It's like a Overwatch Star Wars type game.
All these Overwatch
mean,
games now.
Yeah, exactly. A little hero shooter. It's cool. It's the music though is banging. The menu music is so
Oh, yeah.
fucking good.
Remember when Battlefront came out?
Right. Remember Battlefront, guys? Remember when they did that half-ass port of it? Resold you the games?
For 100 and
Remember
some
that?
gigs.
Yeah. Blew up the textures on it. Remember
Yeah.
Battlefront 2 where you had to spend 40 hours to play as Darth Vader? Remember Battlefront 2, guys? Remember the loot boxes?
Remember? Everybody's, what do you guys recommend for a first timer in Souls-like games? Kel, this is you.
Elden Ring's a great place to start. You don't have to know anything about Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, whatever sequel. Elden Ring's its own game, self-contained, beautiful masterpiece of a game. Play Elden Ring.
Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise, clearly.
It's crazy how many just Souls-like games there are with the genre that's like,
No, it really is, honestly. Because like even whenever it's getting to the point of like you have roguelite and roguelite as well. Now I feel like there's kind of getting like Soulsborne, Souls-light. It's kind of getting its own like little branching genres of being the
it's
Souls
crazy.
game. Yeah, it's Metroidvanias. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how they splinter out as time goes. But yeah, Elden Ring, great game. Other than that, Dark Souls 3 is my favorite of the Dark Souls games. But if you're a lore nerd, need context, you of course have to play the other games. But yeah, Elden Ring, contained game. It's on every system that you can play it on right now. Don't have to get PS4 to play Bloodborne. Fuck Bloodborne. Fuck Sony for holding that game hostage. Play Elden Ring.
They
Fuck
did
Sony for
mention,
not at
actually,
least
that
giving
was,
that an 860 patch.
that was a story they mentioned too, huh? That Sony is holding that.
Yeah, Miyazaki
Yeah.
said pretty much there's a sniper aimed at the back of my skull if I say anything else. But yes, I would love to have Bloodborne again.
Hold on, sorry, I got a text.
These nuts.
Got him.
And the cool thing about if you're trying to get into a Souls-like game, there's so many genres now. If you're not into dark fantasy, like the Grimdark, like they have going on with Souls game, your typical Souls game, you can go play like The Surge, perfectly passable, fun sci-fi Souls game. Now you're getting like more fantastical, like almost like there's a lot of like more anime aimed games that are kind of like more
There's like
Spartan
Code
style.
Vein.
Yeah, Code Vein. Fuck, I feel like there's another one too. But
Stellar Blade kind of Souls-like.
I'd say so. It's kind of
Oh, Sekiro.
Yes. Well, yeah. There's a big one.
Neo.
Yeah, Neo. Another one. Neo
Liza
2 was
P.
great. Liza P. I heard was good. I still need to play that one.
I still actually do really want to play that one.
Yeah, I've heard from everyone that loves Souls games that if you like Souls games, that's the Souls game you need to play. So
I'm a sucker for Clockwork Punk, so
there you go.
All right.
I'm just a really big Pinocchio fan.
All right.
I would have him lie up my ass.
I forgot to mention this. This goes back to a conversation we had a few months back. I have a new massive regret in life. Like, genuine, like, I am so fucking bummed. And that was not going to the pop out.
Mm-hmm.
David, Kendrick put on a concert finally called
Ooh.
the Pop Out. And, of course, he played all of his diss tracks to Drake. Well, no, well, most. We missed
Oh, okay. Yeah, now I understand what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. So he did that, and everyone. He just kind of just announced the date. He announced the date that I was gonna be there. It's gonna be in Inglewood. And it's like, oh, it's gonna be a big show. And I contemplated it for a second, but it was like I was flying back from Florida that day. I was like, I'd have to reroute a lot of shit to make it happen, on top of tickets. Which, if you didn't snack them right away, it's gonna be a couple $100 unless you want to like wait out in front, which you'll probably grab a ticket for like $150. But like I would have paid premium to be on pit there. But I was like, I can't. So I'll watch it. It's fine. I'll watch it. Dude, what a
Watch
fucking
it on Amazon Prime.
I did watch it on Amazon Prime, but holy shit. It was so fucking good. I was telling the girlfriend the night before, I was like, oh man, the Gorillaz did this one thing where they played this song they just made live, and people kept saying they loved it so much, he played it again. I was like, it's so fucking cool when people play a song back to back after like that. And then fucking he comes out and does Not Like Us like 5 or 6 times, depending on what you want to count, in a row. And then she saw me lose my mind. She was like, they stopped, and she's like, they're gonna play it again. I was like, no way. No way. And then it's again. And then after the third time, she's like, they're not gonna play it again, right? I'm like, no, no shot. Does it again. Dude, that fucking show. And then there he is. He's like, I was like, I talked about this. Like, I was gonna make this show. Got to go back to we got to give respect to the past and the future, right? But can't forget our legs, right? Can't forget the people that built us up, right? And I'm like, Dre's not there. No shot. It's Dre. And then you just hear toot toot toot. I'm like, no fucking way, dude. That is the show that I was like, I would have, if I had known then what I know now. I was like, I would pay whatever I needed to for that. Fuck that. Like, put me in the red. Fuck it. Dude, because like if you go watch that concert, like there is an energy in that fucking arena that like you can hear everywhere. Also, shouts to the camera directors on that shit, because like the camera cuts on the wop 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 for sure. Everyone's going off on that, like it was nuts. But yeah, and then now he's roaming around. He was roaming around Compton the next day, I think, or the day afterwards, doing a music video for Not Like Us, and just like Compton just bouncing around everywhere. They just announced that Not Like Us is gonna be available. It's gonna be eligible for a Grammy, so he's gonna win that shit. So shout outs to Drake on that one.
I swear to God, if he wins a Grammy,
He's gonna
for
win a
that
Grammy
song.
for that. Like I think it's locked. I'd be shocked if it didn't now, honestly. Kendrick did open his mouth. He is gonna get a Grammy for that right now. I've been going back and diving into that again. It's just so funny when you go back in and you hear on Taylor Made, he was like, "Well, why are you stopping now? Come on, man. What, you all tired now? Are you're not gonna do anything?" Next, like 2 songs later, "You got me burnt down, man. I'm done." It's like, bro, someone stop that, man.
I love how Drake and Dr. Disrespect in the same year both had terrible comebacks to being called a pedophile.
They're probably gonna hang out. I was telling him before you hopped on, Dave. I was like, I wonder if Dr. Disrespect was hearing Not Like Us, and she'd be like, ugh.
Someone asked him about it. He's acts dumb. Like, what's that?
To give you some lore, David.
Yo.
During those beefs, there was one song where Drake shouted out people saying, "He's like, these guys can do better sets than you, man, and they're my bro." And those guys showed up at the Pop Out concert with Kendrick. They're like, "Fuck that, we're fucking West Coast." The fuck. So, hasn't had anything there. It was just so many people. It was actually a really cool moment. Towards the end, after the fourth playing of Not Like Us, he got a bunch of people on stage, multiple like opposite gang affiliates, and they all got together and took a picture together. So I thought that was a really cool moment. He was saying, I was like, hey, this right now, this moment's not about some back-to-back records, not about the music. It's like about this moment being together.
Yeah, we gotta call out this pedophile together.
Yeah, it's like, well, how are we gonna stop gang violence? Fuck those pedophiles. I mean, they got the right thing in jail, right? Like in jail, that's kind of jail already been doing that, right? But yeah, it was a good show, and man, if I can go back at that like, there's now 2 concerts I would go. I would hit a Nirvana concert if I can go back in time. I'd hit the Pop Out, like, easy.
I just love how like the Amazon Prime like Twitter account was tweeting out like clips of the concert. And they're just live tweeting Kendrick calling Drake a pedophile repeatedly over.
Yeah,
and
you know
over
Drake's
and
not
over.
doing stuff with Amazon anymore.
No.
I saw people react to Drake's weird ass song recently. No offense, but it sounded gibberish. Yeah, the Hey There Delilah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's a
Man
troll
fell off.
song. Sorry, bro. Homie shouldn't be trolling on songs right now when he just got fucking roasted by Kendrick.
Yeah.
Um,
Take some time off.
right.
Forever.
DJ Mustard actually had a interview I saw yesterday where they asked her, like, all right, so how did that happen? How'd you know you were like not like us was happening? He's like, I knew when you guys knew. Like, what? He's like I send Kendrick like 5 songs a day, and I'm just like, hey, good morning. Here's some beats. And he's like,
That's funny.
he was like, I didn't think anything of it. I'm watching this beef go back and forth, and I'm like, oh shit, man. If me and Kendrick just fucking go in on this guy, man, fucking ooh. And then he says he's just driving down the 5 one day, or whatever it was. He's driving down one of the freeways, and then he gets a text saying, "Yo, Kendrick just dropped," and he's like, "What you mean?" Like, yeah, he dropped last night. Oh, you late or what? And then he gets more text. Mustard on the beat, ho. He's like, why am I getting these texts? And then he gets a call. Bro, you're on. And he's like, what the fuck? He played the song. He's like driving the freeway. He's like, I gotta pull over. What the fuck? And he was like freaking out because Kendrick didn't even let him know. Right? He's like, yeah, I got this. And he's all hyped up. He's like, yo, and he put my tag in there, and he sent the tag too. Fuck yeah. So good on them. That was good. It's good. It's cool to see the world unite against Drake. I don't know why you would assume people would go against their city or their state to back you up. That's kind of wild, but is what it is. On off game notice, I started watching Gen V. I watched episode 1 on the plane and realized I probably shouldn't be watching Gen V on the plane.
Oh, yeah, bad idea.
Yeah, I gotta hide the phone when homegirl's like mini size against a cock. So yeah. So
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I'm about halfway through Gen V right now. I mean, I'm okay with it. It's not bad. It's just like I'm just so wanting to watch The Boys right now. So it's kind of like it's like having to slog through a prequel to get through it.
That's unfortunate because I feel like Gen V's really good, but I get what you mean. Like,
Yeah,
there's something at the end of the tunnel that you're wanting to get to.
Yeah, so it's like I appreciate it for what it is, but it's been harder for me to watch just because I'm like I know where this is going. And it's like every time I see the cameos of people too, I'm like, oh, I have been hearing mixed things. Have you watched the recent season?
Yep,
Is it woke idiots or is it bad writing?
I don't think it's either. I'm loving it.
Okay, because I'm hearing people say like, "Oh, this show is terrible now," but I hear the meme is now when you realize that people are making fun of you finally.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. People are just now realizing that it's making fun of them, and like, it's gotten past. Like,
Reading
I don't
comprehension.
understand. Yeah, I don't understand because it's so like in your face about what it's saying and the point it's trying to make.
So
from
is
the
Trump.
get-go.
It's
Yeah.
people unironically not realizing that they weren't supposed to root for Homelander.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And
And
you know
it's like,
why?
Wait, why are you making him out to be the bad guy?
It's because people see like exaggerations of stuff, and when they see like there's a trans hero, they strip like that. They're like, oh, that's funny, right? Because that's dumb. But it's like they don't realize like, no, this is a commentary on how dumb y'all are being right now.
Yeah, no, I think the current season, The Boys, is doing just fine. It's interesting. There's a lot of cool stuff happening, stuff that I want to see. It's different from the comics, which is great because the comics were fucking garbage anyways. It's awesome.
I
like
did
it.
hear that what was the orgy called again?
Puregasm.
Puregasm.
Yeah, I did hear that was crazier in the comics though, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, everything is crazy. Not necessarily better, but crazier in the comics.
Yeah, no, the comics are like, it's like a high school like edgelord,
Yeah,
like wet dream.
I read like 3 or 4 comics and I'm like, it's already a little weird because I'm like, I don't like Huey being this weird like older scrawny guy. Like I kind of like where he's
Yeah.
at.
Wee Huey.
Yeah. Well, what's crazier about Herogasm in the comics? 'Cause I want to read them, but I'm like also like,
I wouldn't say like there's not like a necessary thing that makes it crazier. So it's just like it's a lot more graphic. It's more gratuitous.
Oh, okay.
Like
There's a lot more implied into how much of it is also non-consensual as well,
Yeah.
because they really emphasize the fact that those that don't show up that were invited basically are blacklisted from a lot of things, and it just really goes into just how fucking heinous of an event it really is.
okay. But yeah, so I'll have Gen V hopefully done by the time we're on here next. Because yeah, I definitely want to get to the boys.
boys.
Okay. Game wise, speaking of starting stuff, I have started Kingdom Hearts.
I saw.
What the fuck is with that song at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1? That was the most like early 2000s thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, Simple and Clean is one of the
Yeah.
most early 2000
I
things
was about
ever.
to say, are you talking about Simple and Clean?
it
Because
is.
you just
It was
described
like-
it perfectly.
Yeah. Like,
That is the anthem of Kingdom Hearts.
is it really? Okay. That's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you know. That's how you know I'm new to all this because I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Well, not only that, but Hikaru Utada, she's like pop mega idol in Japan. What's a good comparison like nowadays, like giant pop artist here in America, or like
Taylor Swift?
uh,
Not that big.
she like sure,
Drake.
but she's okay. She's to Japan what Carly Rae Jepsen is to Canada.
Okay.
I'd say that.
Okay.
I was gonna say Stevie Nicks would honestly probably be a more one-on-one
Sure.
comparison.
Yeah, because she is a little bit older.
It's
But
epic.
she's,
What are you
like,
talking
on-
about?
Yeah.
I just wasn't expecting that. That was out of left field for me. I didn't know. I like I said, I don't know fuck all about Kingdom Hearts. I just know it's Square or Final Fantasy characters. Well, I know it's Square now, right?
I'm so excited to hear what you
I
have
know.
to
I
say
saw
now.
it first out of Kingdom Hearts. You don't have to see that anymore.
I don't know fuck all about it. I know Sephiroth's like a villain. This villain in this first one. I thought it was just Cloud and Sephiroth. I was like,
No.
I go to the thing,
No.
but here's the thing, I didn't
No.
recognize Sid at first, so I'm like having to walk through. I opened up a walkthrough real quick because I'm like I got confused at the when they're like when you had to like have meet up.
Twilight Town.
Yeah, you had to meet Donald and Goofy for the first time, and they keep like walking
Yeah.
behind you. So I looked that up, and they're like, yeah, and you'll see Sid here. I'm like, holy shit, that is Sid. What the fuck? And then,
That's-
and then I
you know,
spoiled myself. I
you
fucked
haven't-
up because I read ahead a little bit. I'm like, oh fuck, that's Yuffie.
Yeah, I forgot. 'Cause you also haven't played many Final Fantasy games either, so you didn't really catch Selphie, Titus, and Waka.
I don't know who they are. Yeah, so I'm like,
Yeah,
I
so
assume.
is protagonist of 8,
Yeah,
Waka and Titus are from 10.
Yeah, I do. I know the name. Yeah. But yeah, so I
That's the beautiful thing about that game is it brings together so many generations of Final Fantasy, and like it's generations I grew up with, right? Because I grew up with pretty much starting at 7, going through, and then you get fucking the pretty much a lot of the cast from 8 too.
Yeah, you get pretty much everyone from 7, 8, and 10.
Yeah,
And then with 2, you start getting a lot more of the 9 and weirdly 6.
yeah.
Seeing Setzer in 2 was wild.
so unfortunately now Final Fantasy is now. Hey, look, the Kingdom Hearts character made as a game mod.
I mean,
Yes, you are basically the Smash player of Kingdom Hearts. Of like,
Right.
oh hey, it's Steve from Smash.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
but no. Go ahead.
yeah, I can't wait to hear What
Yeah,
else
so
you got,
I
Seth?
heard that. So that's the one thing I know is like they said, isn't the world ends with you part of the Kingdom Hearts lore now too? I remember
Yep.
watching.
Yes.
I don't know what the fuck's going on when I saw
You're
Kingdom
getting
Hearts
way
4.
ahead of yourself. Don't
I
worry
saw
about
the
that.
Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts
that
4
didn't even come
trailer.
until Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw the
put
Kingdom
that out
Hearts
of your
4
mind.
trailer,
Forget
and
about it.
I'm like, I don't know. It's cool. It's Sora. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Someone's like, oh,
Why are we in
world's with you,
Tokyo?
and I'm like, oh, okay. So that's where we're going with this. So like I said, I had no idea what the fuck the game was. I know it's that, and I know it's Disney characters. I don't know what the fuck. I don't think I've like seen very little gameplay. Whenever they had gameplay stuff on, I just check out because I'm like I don't play this series.
Like I wish I could remember how the fuck they marketed to this, because you're right, it is a weird ass fucking game to try to market. Like, how do you cut a trailer for this and it like have it anywhere make sense?
I remember the trailers being like almost weirdly sensual. Like they would show gameplay footage of the game, and then they would have Simple and Clean playing, but then they had an announcer who was very low toned like this, talking about the adventure of a lifetime.
world.
I'm like, oh, it's weird. Also, real quick, Adrian, you need to take your headphones off for like 30 seconds. The wildest part about Adrian also not having the Final Fantasy knowledge going into it is if he decides to continue the games and you get to the Battle of the Thousand Heartless in Kingdom Hearts 2 and you just have fucking Squall and Cloud fucking tag teaming with you throughout that fight, the whole feel in my youth of one, not only having basically Dynasty Warriors of fucking Kingdom Hearts as I'm taking on a fucking endless army of Heartless, but I have fucking Cloud and Squall helping me out as my wingman.
Yep.
Fucking A, that's still such an epic goddamn moment.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's gonna be lost on him.
Yeah.
I need to finish getting my partner caught up on it. I still gotta play the second half.
You're
I
good.
still gotta play the second half of Chain of Memories with her and then go into 2. Because 2 is still, in my opinion, the best game in the series.
Isn't that
Chain
where
of
they get
Memories is
emo?
my favorite, but 2 is the best.
Isn't that where they start getting emo?
Chain of Memories really starts that.
Okay. I was curious and looked that up actually afterwards. That they do sell Kingdom Heart merch at Disneyland. They sell them occasionally, but like nothing a lot. But like occasionally I'll see some stuff around there.
Yeah, I think whenever I went, like, I seen something that was like Goofy and Donald in their Kingdom Hearts stuff. I was like, what the fuck?
I'm
This is
kinda-
getting referenced in the park.
Depending how I feel with this series and where I'm at with it, I'm actually kind of curious enough that I have enough friends in Disney that I might be wanting to like hit up a park around 4 time and see how that looks, because I think the merch would be kind of cool.
I really want you to at least, if you ended up liking Kingdom Hearts 1 enough, you at least need to do 1 Chain of Memories and 2. If at that point you're like, all right, I feel like I kind of got like a good through line story, but I don't necessarily need to continue on, that's a good stopping
I might
point.
want to go with it just because I find myself amused whenever I see that funny It's Always Sunny Charlie meme with people at the red line and talking about the story now. I like to be part of the conversation on there. I will say it's a PS2-esque game right now, so
Oh,
like
yeah, sure.
like I'm
What
not
is the funkiest?
I'm not enjoying
One is
it
clunky.
currently. Just it's funny, right? Like I talk.
Did you go with a Fizz build or a Magic build?
Well-
That also alters a lot of the
Well, that's what I'm saying.
enjoyment
So
in the game.
I'm still grinding the beginning part of it.
Well, but what did you choose? Because that alters everything.
I
What
didn't
did-
pick the sword. That's the only thing I didn't pick.
Did you pick the wand specifically, though?
I picked the wand and then I picked the shield.
So you picked the wand to keep and you picked the shield to forsake?
Oh no, forsake. I forsake the sword. Sorry.
Okay. That is, for the remake of Kingdom Hearts 1, the best way to play the game. Far more enjoyable. They rebalance a lot of it so it leans a lot better into magic.
Cool.
So once you start getting some more actual spells
Yeah,
under
like
your
at the
belt,
beginning when you're
it's gonna
not
feel better.
when you're just swinging shit, it's not fun. Which is like for so far my like I feel weird. I can't say it out there because I'm a Dragon Guard fan now, so it's like I can't say this gameplay sucks because I'm like the only game I've ever played on PS2 right now. The gameplay is literal ass. But
I'm also going to give you a tip. Don't take combo extenders, they're a trap.
Okay.
You get more damage out of just having simple, quick combos than you do having longer
How
combos.
long is the game?
I think I went through it with my last playthrough in like 30 hours, something like that. But I was also trying to do a lot of the side shit. So if I had just focused on the main story, I probably could have done it in like 22, 23.
Yeah, people are saying, well, at least with just the original, 28.5, 41 for main and extra.
I've been super tempted to go back through it too. I might have to.
Well, I feel like I'm probably commit to it because at this point, if I don't start this now, I'm gonna really drag my feet on it because I
So Games Gone By is just going to be Kingdom Hearts now. Welcome to the year of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. Full year of Kingdom Hearts. Nothing but Kingdom Hearts.
Yes, I'm gonna do that. I got through Gamefly. I got Sandland, and I just wasn't in the mood for that game. It's funny enough. It's kind of it's just like a beat 'em up, but it's like,
Oh, interesting.
it was way too basic for me. It was like X X Y X Y X, and I'm like, all right, I'm way too bored right now. And I was reading up. What's up, Dylan? How you been, man? I'm mad I missed you at Florida. Could have hung out. I was reading reviews on it, and people were saying the story was really good, but I'm like, I just don't have it in me because I would have had to power through it all the last few days before I went to Florida. I would have had to sit down and knock it all out now because my 1 month ends while I'm gone. So I'm mailing it off tonight. I'm just gonna see if I can buy time to get Final Fantasy VII Remake just installed so I can get the upgrade.
Hell yeah.
Otherwise, I think I'm good. But yeah, it wasn't my game right now, so I might just read into it. I heard I was reading that the gameplay was kind of like barren, and it seems like the story's cool. I agree. So it's like I might just read the manga. But yeah, so I was going through that. I've been bored enough that I'm like, I started picking up Smash a little bit to do that. I got my ass kicked earlier today by a Lucina player, like ridiculously. Shout out to them though, they kept replaying and they were really good, but holy fuck, I couldn't do fuck all. It was like, I think to be fair, if we played tournament, I won the best 2 out of 3 at the beginning, and then they just beat me 10 times in a row. So their spacing was fucking nuts. But shout out to them. I try to find them on Twitter because if I ever fight like a really good person, it's been like solid. Try to find them on Twitter and give them a shout out or something. But I looked them up, and the first thing I saw was, I guess, someone else doing the exact same thing. They're like, hey, if you're this person on there, shout outs. That was a great game. Like, shout out to that guy. It wasn't one of those one and dones. I'm out. Let's see. Did I play anything else? Nope. All right. We have a lot of news to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
So let's do this thing. Let's reel back time a little bit. A certain Nintendo thing happened about a week ago.
Ooh.
Oh, we're gonna start with that one.
Let's start with that one.
Why would we start with the best thing that happened?
Because other stuff's kind of just nonsense. I don't.
You don't want to talk about the Xbox One?
Did that happen before or after? That happened. We talked about last one. Yeah, we talked about yours.
First one, there was like one other one that happened while we had our break, but maybe at this point everything is blending together in my brain.
We definitely talked about Gears.
All right. Oh yeah, 'cause we talked. Okay, yeah. All right. Let's talk about this fucking banger.
I did play the first mission of Gears as well, actually, and I remember it because I'm like, I had that itch. I really want to go through that, so that's happened.
All right, so let's. All right, so I got this pulled up here. This is in no particular order because I couldn't find the exact order that everything was announced in. But they're like, I have pre-ordered almost everything shown up in this fucking showcase. Some quick mentions, unless you really want to go into detail. Moongus got an update. Phantom Brave is getting a new game entry, which was a wild shock to me. I'm fucking excited for that. For Migio, looks kind of neat. Always excited to see more farming games, especially when you add in monster collecting. Romantic Saga 2 remaster looks fucking amazing. I'm excited for it. Fairy Tail 2, that took me by surprise. Wasn't expecting to see a new Fairy Tail game in the year of 2024, but here we are.
Interrupt you real quick. Do we want the NBC roster next week? We won't be recording next week. So ask me the following week, and we'll see how we are news-wise.
But it does blend into what we'll get to in a second here.
Yeah,
There is a new Denpa Man.
yeah, that was weird.
Speaking of weird and me, although I'm excited for it, our delicious folks that brought us Danganronpa have brought us a tower defense as strategy RPG, almost kind of in the same wheelhouse of like fucking 13 Sentinels. So yeah, I'm down for that. I'm curious to see how that unfolds.
Right.
We have the last missing piece for Ace Attorney, the Miles Edgeworth collection.
Shout out to that. I know I mentioned that, right? Because I talked about how I have the DS game still sealed, and then they're bringing 2, which is fucking awesome. So now at this point, the whole series
I feel like
is
one of you
here.
called that too
What?
in the predictions. I feel like one of you called that in like one of the predictions too.
I said that we were either bound for a new game or that they were going to release it as it was the last piece missing.
There we go.
I'm glad it's all now modernized. You can now have it all in one spot. Feels good.
Actually, I think technically the only things that are still missing is the crossover of Professor Layton.
Oh,
Yeah, that's expensive as shit too.
Yeah. So maybe, hold out hope, maybe that could still happen, but
That is.
while you're looking that up, Just Dance, don't care. This game actually looked fascinating. Mio, Memories in Orbit, which looks like a really stylistic Metroidvania. I'm a sucker for Metroidvania, so I'm curious to check that one out.
Complete copy of that is 120. Loose is 90.
Woo!
That was
Woo!
one. If you wanted that, I'm sorry. You got to turn back the time or put some money on that one, or R. I like that letter a lot.
As you should. Anyways, speaking
Don't
of
condone it.
things that should,
Gotta say it.
Stray is getting a Switch port. Also, shout outs to games that are expensive that you have to R them these days. We got an unexpected sequel in Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports.
Hell yeah.
We also got Darkest Dungeon 2. We got more gameplay of that Metal Slug tower defense game. A little bit more gameplay for Funko Fusion. We got a little bit more Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. Fucking Disney Islands getting update. Hello Kitty bullshit. We got more gameplay of Tales of the Shire, which I completely had already forgotten about. But all right, I'm curious. We got some absolute good fucking eat in that Fantasian is getting a fucking console version, and it does have a physical that'll be coming with it.
You can
Fucking
play on
chef's
iOS
kiss.
right now, David.
No, I want to play it on console as intended, by truly in his heart, and he knew that's why he just had to wait. Sakaguchi meant it for console all along. It just took him a while to get there. But I'm excited for that to finally happen. Also, a weird thing to see. I think this actually was like one of the first things shown off. But Lego Horizon Adventures, we got to see that here. Weird to see Horizon on Nintendo. Maybe it does add extra credence that with the next match we might see Horizon representation in there. Nintendo Switch Sports got a basketball update for this summer. We got another look at Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. I still don't care. I wish they would have kept with doing the NES remix games and gave us a Super Nintendo one. Nintendo continues to give us shitty emulated ports as they showed off Four Swords Adventures, Zero Mission, Perfect Dark, which from everything I've seen runs like fucking ass in Turok. We got a new Super Mario Party. Fucking let's just give us plenty of maps, give us plenty of mini games. I'm intrigued by like the 20-player multiplayer option in there.
I feel like that's a little bit on the that it gave me PTSD to the Wii U gimmicky era, where it's like we got to add some dumb thing to this to make it like that. It's like I think they had a good thing going with the Superstars, like just keep it classic, keep it back to where you're at. I popped off when I saw the cloud thing there because I played so much Mario Party. I'm like, hey, that's the fucking board from the first game, hell yeah. I hope it's still solid. I hope they don't run too much of this gimmick of like everyone's playing, because online's gonna die in like 4 days.
Yeah. And then unexpected surprise. I was excited to see Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Excited for that. But now that we've had our vegetables, we need to get into the stuff that made me pop off as I was at work and I was told to quiet down for. One of the things that did also start our show, in fact, I think it actually was what started the show, we have a new fucking Mario and Luigi game.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Mario RPG goodness.
It's so cool that they're using the art style from like the box art.
Fucking chef's kiss. You'll love to see it. Another thing that made me pop off, not only are we getting Dragon Quest III HD 2D, but not long after, 1 and 2 will have HD 2D remasters as well.
Yeah, that's insane. That's so cool.
I fucking had hoped they were going to do the trilogy. I understand them doing it this way, as 3 is a prequel to 1 and 2. So, you know, you sucker people in on 3, which is the more robust game as a standalone option, and then you give 1 and 2 as a combo pack. I get it. I understand. I'm fucking here for it. I saw a lot of people with discourse that Chrono Trigger doesn't need the HD 2D treatment. And to that I say, does it need it? No. Will I buy it? Day one.
Yeah. Do they need it? No, but fucking give it to me if it's not.
Like, HD 2D has such an interesting, unique, gorgeous aesthetic. And while, yes, I am the biggest proponent of just let fucking pixel art be pixel art, however, if you're going to go ahead and re-release the game, Square Enix has already shown that they're not going to just give you the same game without doing more to it. The Pixel Remaster showed that even when they're trying to do just, here's the original pixels, it's still not the original pixels. They're never going to do the original style of those games.
Really quick. I thought that was super cool in the Rugrats game, where they had like the old NES style and they had like the brand new, like the hand-drawn style. I was like, hey, that's actually cool when they did that.
Agreed. Also, shout out to Dragon Quest XI, which you can either play the entire game in modern 3D or in the old pixel art style.
That's so wild.
Imagine building the ground from the game up in 2 different art styles like that.
So
fucking
on this too, also, it's the fucking trilogy.
Halo.
Yeah. As it should be, instead of that shitty iOS fucking graphics that we got with that other shitty remake trilogy. That shall not. Although we got our final 2 big boy announcements. This one I screamed. I'll admit, I was like a fucking kid in this candy store.
I want to just read this off because I know we're gonna go into a deep dive with this. Mario and Luigi really surprised me, but in retrospect, makes sense. Mario RPG and Paper Mario have gotten some love recently. They're really leaning into that stuff, which is cool. It's doing well apparently.
Basically, you know, you have those 2 classic Mario RPGs that kind of reawaken the fan base. Be like, hey, you still like these? You still like these? Oh, they're still loving these? Fucking here you go. Have more.
Caveat is that team got forced into some bad Mario and Luigi games, and that team got the boot. So this is a whole different team doing this. So sucks. I mean, it's good we got the series back, but it sucks it can't be the team that made it.
Speaking of things that I didn't think would make it anyways, I shit you not. They're going ahead. They're doing their usual thing.
So anticlimactic.
So now, for our next game,
they could have leaned
for our next game, we want to take you for a ride. I'm like, I outright shouted at work, "Fuck you!" And I got to look, and then Marble, it's Marble Berry.
It's funny because I feel like they didn't even realize like that, which is shocking, right? It's like you
I've seen no leaker claim Marvel at
which
this.
is that, but but like it didn't like whenever there's like a big announcement, they'll keep it kind of secret. Like now check this coming out, or something's about to show up here. But it's like they kind of like
Yeah.
they showed it like right away, like gonna take you for a ride, and all of us were like, oh fuck, right away, right?
Yeah.
But like I feel like they could have leaned into that a little more because I don't think no one and I guess they don't realize like this is huge.
Yeah, they completely undersold it.
Yeah.
Yeah. To the point where we still had to have like the actual reveal trailer after this event that really hyped it up. Seeing Maximilian's reaction was wild. I went back and I watched that because I'm like, okay, I had to see how he reacted. And seeing that man being distracted the whole fucking time, like, no, guys, you don't understand. Like, it's back. And outright apologizing to his audience, like, I've been wanting this.
Right.
So it's basically everything that is in that big, beautiful Marvel 2 cabinet that I have over there, finally in a physical, on console collection, all on disc, confirmed by VGP. All the Marvel games
please don't
on
fuck
disc
this
for
up.
Switch,
Like-
and
Is there a reason why it's not on PS5? Why it's PS4 and
So-
Switch?
So, there has been stuff going around because it avoided Xbox.
Yeah.
People are theorizing that it's this MT structure work that they have going on there that is not working with the newer gen consoles. So it's on Xbox because you can't have just an Xbox One game now. It has to be Xbox and Series.
Yeah.
PS5 it can skip. PS4 can blend into that. So people are theorizing that because it's skipping PS5 and Xbox Series, that structure work is just not working with the newer consoles. Because it doesn't make sense why they just skipped Xbox all that, but it's because the Xbox discs now have to have that.
I just assume that they probably were just trying to min-max the earning potential.
That's what people were
Those are the
saying.
two biggest markets.
Right, and that's what people were theorizing at first, but missing PS5 is weird then at that point, right?
Yeah, that's what
No,
I was thinking.
because
Like, why is
All
PS5
PS5s will play PS4.
But they can
you
double
don't
up on
need
that
to
money
sell a
easy.
separate retail disc.
You can double that money easy. Like people will buy.
Wait, you can do that? You can pop in a PS4 disc into the PS5?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Wait, really?
No, yeah. I
Oh.
only use this for Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
This is my rebirth machine.
Yeah, it's full back compatible.
Yeah. In a cruel sense of irony, the only game that I know of that actually has issues with the backwards compatibility is Nier Automata.
Mm,
There's a point in the game where it always like hard locks.
gotcha.
It was intentional.
Uh,
But yeah, so
Cool, well, I
but
guess I need a PS4 copy. Shit.
you could double you can get double dippers of that. That's why Yakuza or Like a Dragon is on both. Like that argument right there doesn't hold much because especially when you can do a PS5 copy and charge $10 more still for it if you want and get away with
But
it.
this is Capcom. Think of like how much they actually. So if you look at like the Ace Attorney collection, all of it is Switch and PS4. They don't do a
said
PS5
follows,
version.
that follows with it too though. That structure work it falls with Ace Attorney as well.
Mm.
So it's just the structure work that's been going on with the older games and the remakes. So the remakes of Ace Attorney, the remakes with the fighting games, they said that it falls in the structure with those as well, which I think
That would
is-
make sense then.
like
yeah.
is let me see. Hold on, actually.
Shit, while you're doing that, I gotta pee real quick. Oh,
See.
surprising no one.
It does not surprise me whatsoever. There this is. And then is it on here though? Okay, what the fuck? Right, I guess on Ace Attorney Investigations, what it was called. Bum, bum, bum. Why can't I? Oh my god. Amazon, please work with me.
Okay, I lied. Technically, I do have the Metal Gear Solid Volume 1 collection on PS5 as well.
All right, there
But
you go.
that's because those are all on disc.
This is fair then. Ooh, I still actually, that reminds me, I still gotta buy the Ace Attorney Apollo Justice trilogy.
Yeah, I need to get that whole collection too. Because I haven't played them since I was a kid with a DS, so I think I'd get a lot more out of it now if I played through it as a smart adult and not a dipshit child.
those games are so cool to go through.
Yeah.
I
I
have
loved them back then, so I have no doubt I'd love them now. I love that shit.
I have that trip where I'm going like mostly off the grid on that tower. Wondering like what I bring along to go through it because I feel like it'd be a good place to knock out some reading or some games there. If I recall, so there is no Xbox Series version of Apollo or the Ace Attorney Investigations.
Are there any well, they got Kingdom or goddamn. They have Phoenix Wright 1, I know. Were the other parts of that trilogy on there?
Well, I'm saying
So
is
at
that
least on Game Pass, it's only just the first one.
I don't believe they are physical,
Yeah.
or if they were before the Xbox mandates series.
Yeah, none of them were physical, but I know that at least on Game Pass, Phoenix Wright 1 is on there. But I don't know if they ever actually did any of the other Phoenix Wright games other than just one.
Right. So I if the investigations come out on Xbox One though, that could be why can't Xbox One Marvel be there? But then it makes sense still because let me see actually. I'm supposed to look at this part. 1 second, look at one last thing on here. Yeah, so like Ace Attorney Investigations is not on PS5 as well.
Yeah.
So it's like I know there's some sort of connection there with why there's no PS5 copies of that as well. When it would make sense to double dip if you're a company like Capcom that wants money.
But again, we don't know like behind the scenes how much they're actually making from double dipping on certain types of games. I think in something like that that's leaning really just into the nostalgia, let's be honest, it makes more sense just to go for the shotgun blast of the two platforms that you know are going to make you the most money, and that, you know, if someone's got a PS5, they can just buy the PS4 version anyways.
Right, but at least with fighting
That's
games,
if they know.
at least with fighting games, and you're looking at like Street Fighter 6, right? Having a copy on PS4 and PS5, it's like I feel like they know with fighting games they can get away with it.
Yeah.
So
also, there's performance differences in those games, whereas what we're talking about here with these games, I doubt there's going to be any actual performance difference.
Sure. But David, how excited were you?
I mean, I got a lot of looks at work for me fucking popping off,
They
so I
could
mean,
have
I was
really
pretty goddamn excited.
Just done MVC2 HD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do everything else.
No, like, but like really, they
It
didn't have
makes
to.
me wonder if that all of the because I've noticed with that the Street Fighter collection that they did a while back is the same collection of games that were on the cabinet as well as on
Are you talking
the
about the 30th
Evercade.
anniversary or the Capcom collection?
The Capcom collection.
Okay. Well, isn't that like a... Okay, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, a lot of these like collections that they've been doing are ones that they're releasing in other media formats as well.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder if what they've been doing this whole time is outright basically their source code is just the bundle of games, and then they're just porting it to the other platform.
Yeah.
It has to be something, but I'm curious if there was a fight for these rights or if it really wasn't that big of a deal and it was just Capcom being Capcom.
Well, supposedly, like whenever they announced like those newer cabs that came out with MVC2,
The arcade
right?
one-ups?
Yeah, they said
Yeah.
like in their live stream, they said that it was a big licensing issue, just even getting those made.
They said that was
so-
an issue because of especially because it was classified as a toy. That's how they got away with it.
right.
Yeah. And even Maximilian kind of confirmed that, like, that was a pipe dream for that to have even happened because of that.
Yeah, so I can only imagine like what else you'd have to do with getting these 2 different copies of the video game.
Especially where, again, now you're dealing with Disney and all of their rights and bullshit.
Well, supposedly that's the thing. Supposedly Disney's a lot more laissez-faire with it now, and it was Fox that was kind of halting up and gumming up.
Having
a lot
to
of the
having to
stuff with
split
X-Men.
that with both of them was probably a bitch and a half.
Right.
Mm.
And now it's just like, yeah, give
And
Disney their
Sony,
cut.
huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Sonic is a Spider-Man. Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Technically Universal too, because Hulk.
Oh fuck,
actually,
you're right. Yeah.
do they have toy rights too
Yep.
though, or is that just the movie rights?
Well, remember, like the cab, they considered a toy. So in the video game, I'm pretty sure they hold like media rights.
Yeah, the Universal one's always weird with me because I remember
It's
hearing
so fucking weird.
because they not have the rights anymore. Because I heard that I've always heard that it was like you had to make a movie with it, but they just never did.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I think it's easier for them now, because now everything's coming back and consolidating back underneath Disney. Besides Spider-Man,
Hell
and
yeah, 'cause let's go
Sony. But
monopolies.
I think Sony just doesn't really give a fuck now. They're like, yeah, we're making whatever with it.
There has to, I've always said this, but I'm like there has to be some fucking weird ass deal with Disney and Sony right now with Spider-Man, because the fact that they kept Sony Spider-Man's exclusive.
Yeah, the Punisher game, that was a big thing too.
Yeah, the Punisher.
Yeah.
That blew my fucking mind when I was
But I for sure when Spider-Man came out, I was like, it has to be like a year-long exclusivity deal, or no, it stayed exclusive. It was totally just Sony, so and it has to be some sort of weird ass deal with them. But
well, because those even hit Disney Plus now too, so it's so weird.
yeah, but anyway,
Like, how does this all do?
good ass collection of games.
Oh yeah.
David, you think we're gonna see a little bit of this at Evo next year?
Ooh. I mean, considering the Evo before the big hop was supposed to predominantly feature a return of Marvel 2, I do think we get it, and this is the excuse to do it. The thing I'm most curious about is if this could mean we actually get Marvel 4.
I think this is them testing the waters.
Mm-hmm.
I think
And because the Capcom does that, they're big proponents of, oh no, release old shit and see if people still want to buy it,
Yeah.
which is I don't think a good one-to-one comparison, but
well, it's
especially
not.
considering they re-release the shit all the fucking time.
It's
usually.
not, but this is gonna be their caveat, right? It's like people are gonna go over this because this is the first time we've had this in a while, and this is the first time you're gonna have this in physical form in a longer while. People are
my
gonna
fear
actually
is
support
that-
this one.
Yeah, my fear is that this isn't like their measuring stick for it, but it's gonna be like their excuse. Like if they do release Marvel 4 and it doesn't do well or hit some sales standard, they'll be like, well, look, the fans just aren't turning out for it, but they want this. I just don't want it to be like an excuse held against like the franchise in any way.
Yeah.
If unreasonable numbers aren't met, which they're gonna be there.
I think it'll do well. I think this got the reaction. I think, I mean, they undersold it themselves too, right? But I think this is getting a big reaction. Honestly, if it was like any other game at the end of the direct, aside from like a new Smash or Metroid, right? I could see that MVC2 one being even a bigger highlight than it already was, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we're excited. We're gonna get some game nights going with that for sure.
Yeah, I wasn't even like the biggest MVC2 fan growing up. I knew it more as like that game at the laundromat, that other one, because I was always playing Soul Calibur.
Fair.
So like I just never really got into it, but I understand the relevancy, and I'm definitely gonna be playing it.
I want to try it. Yeah, I've never got into it, but I'm
Yeah.
down to try it. David,
Yes.
how did the
There's
direct?
still.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say there's still two more things here because I almost forgot about one of the other things that I had a major pop off for before our big finale.
Yeah,
Uh,
the finale is what got me.
Yeah, but before our big finale, we had a game that I never thought we would actually get, and I'm fucking stoked. Because the last time we had a game with this concept was back on the CDI, and that is The Legend of Zelda. Zelda? Goddamn. The Legend of Zelda. I fucking.
Give me that one.
It's only 5.4%. That's all right. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, in which we actually are playing as Zelda.
So
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna have a hot take and say the game didn't look that interesting to me.
That is a hot take because you're wrong.
It just doesn't. It doesn't seem like stop, do something right. It just feels like what am I trying to say with it? It feels like Scribblenauts, where it's like one solution can kind of solve everything. That's
Well, from what they show, it looks like it's definitely meant to be kind of like a puzzle game where you're going to have like a slew of different options. And yeah, if you find a good rhythm that works for you, it works for you. But there's going to be a lot of different options that people themselves are going to find along the way that work for it.
right. Being the next this is a mainline Zelda game. It just felt like a side game because of it having like a puzzly aspect. Like, oh look, you can spawn enemies to fight enemies. I'm like, oh, so we don't have to fight then. Just throw whenever I see an enemy. All right, I'm gonna send an enemy out. I'm good. I'm gonna give it a shot. I was very lukewarm on it, like extremely lukewarm on it. Like initially, like seeing I almost freaked the fuck out, thinking it was like a Link to the Past or something. I was like, oh shit. But it's a cool concept. I'm glad they're still using the Link's Awakening art style a little bit more, because I think that was a good art style that I don't want to throw away just after for one remake and throw it out. But yeah, I'm not on this internet hype train. Everyone else is, and I know I'm the outlier on that though. And that's cool. That's fine.
Yeah, you're whack. I appreciate that, different opinions, but you're whack on that for me.
I just want them to remake Oracle of Time and Seasons.
Yes.
Remake
Give
it
us-
for me.
Give us a remake that also gives us the lost third game of what was it supposed to be?
I didn't know there was a third game. That's sick.
Yeah, because originally it's meant to be 3 Ages, Season,
And then if you have them, you
and
combine them.
No, you
Yeah.
can trade between them, and then that's
yeah,
how
but
you-
originally there was like an
Yeah,
actual
complete.
third game supposed to be part of it, and then they made the switch, the transfer mechanic to replace it. Fuck. It's escaping my brain right now, but there was meant to be a third one for it. Shout outs to Capcom again. Phenomenal fucking game. It's beautiful what can happen when you let other companies get a hold of your property sometimes.
That was
Capcom fucking
Oh, shit.
yeah, that was Capcom that did those.
Nice. Okay, yeah, those are some of my favorites behind like the Nintendo 64 ones. They're so good.
Yeah, for me it's definitely A Link Between Worlds, A Link to the Past, and then Seasons and
So-
Ages.
There were originally 3 games: Mystical Seed of Wisdom, Mystical Seed of Power, and Mystical Seed of Courage. Oracle of Ages was Wisdom, Oracle of Season was Power, but Courage was eliminated.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
And there was little known for how far in development Seed of Courage got. Anyway,
But no, I am excited for this. It's been, like I said, since the CDI that Zelda has had the run of a fucking Zelda game. I'm excited for it, and again, it's doing something different. It's doing something unique, and
yeah, I'll appreciate that.
we're-
I'll shout that out. It's cool that they're doing something different.
so I'm excited for it.
Hell yeah.
Because I hope they keep this trend, because I feel like Nintendo has found a winning formula with Breath of the Wild. So I think even though they'll be done with the name of Breath of the Wild, I feel like that might be what we get. Is I feel like we'll have like more open world Zelda games, but then we'll have these smaller 2D-esque ones to balance them out. And that'll just be the new Zelda life, is that we just get, here's your open world Zelda, here's your just kind of smaller linear journey-ish Zelda. Maybe, hopefully, one day though, we actually get a proper fucking updated remake of Majora's Mask and Link or Ocarina of Time. Jesus Christ. N64 games on 3DS are fine, but
I'm-
goddamn, they chug, and I just
I
want
am-
proper versions of them.
Genuinely shocked we're gonna go end the Switch life cycle and not have those Twilight Princess or Wind Waker remakes on here.
Yeah, that's what blows my
Yeah,
mind.
seeing those like the Wii U is wild.
Like, we got so much fucking Wii U games, and those just seem like the easiest ones to transfer over, and just didn't happen.
You know what? They're saving it for Switch 2.
Please.
At this point, I would just like them off the Wii U at this point because out of like the 4 games left on there, it just feels really weird to leave those 2 on there.
Now, speaking of things that I thought were being saved until the Switch 2,
Well,
we got our finale.
I mean that's not true yet.
That's true, because it is launching next year. So it could still be like Breath of
think
the
it is.
Wild.
Yeah, we've all kind of like thought about that for a while, and then them being so vague on it still, I think it has to be.
Well, I think Digital Foundry actually went and like analyzed it, and they were like pulling from the trailer, trying to find like what the resolution and trying to figure out what it was running on and stuff too.
What they say?
I think they said it was like 900p or something like that, and they figured it was probably what we seen was running on a Switch One.
Yeah, I figured that, but I can see it. I could see it like when you have like a Switch 2 trailer, it's gonna just look better.
For sure.
Because people were complaining about the look on that, which, by the way, fuck off. Like, if you've been waiting for this game for 7 years, oh, it doesn't look that good, bro. The
fine.
Switch hardware is
Wha-
fucking old as shit.
Yeah.
The fact that it's running that, kudos.
Also, what game were you fucking looking at? That game looked fantastic.
Yeah, no, that looked great.
Yeah, everyone complaining about that. Like,
I truly feel like the modern gaming has ruined the concept of fucking art
Brain rot,
direction.
dog.
Well,
Like I think the remaster that they did recently of Metroid, was it Metroid 1?
yeah,
Yeah, Metro Prime 1.
I think that looks beautiful. I think it looks great.
Yeah.
people were saying that was solid.
I mean, just give me more of that, and what we seen in the trailer, I think, was more than that, and then some. It looked great.
One thing I want to say about this direct, it's kind of like my favorite thing. Yeah, people were saying it. I saw that.
I
on
think
Twitter.
it's just people talking out the side of their fucking
yeah,
head.
that
dude.
people need.
Yeah.
But I weirdly enough, I love an end of a console cycle because people have to get really interesting with their art styles just to handle things.
Yeah.
And the thing this direct in spades had just like people like having a like that art department of each studio is like really putting work in to make sure that the console can run this stuff because that's what hardware is like genuinely fucking old. Like it was
That's
It's
it was
almost going on 8 years
it-
now.
No, but then like even for the day when the Switch came out, it was outdated, right? Like console stuff was already like outdated the second it comes out.
Yeah, it
Kinda
was
like
PS3 equivalent.
Yeah,
That's why, like, doing those remasters in the 2.5D is such a fucking brilliant idea for the Switch, honestly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Remind me when someone was shitting on Doom: The Dark Ages trailer. Yeah, people were fucking weird.
People are
I-
stupid idiots.
I'm very much on that. Like, let an art style be an art style. I don't need it to
Yeah.
to look super realistic. Last time we got that was Battlefield, and I can't play that game.
We have reached the point where truly we're done with where fidelity and graphics can go.
Yeah, it don't
8K is
matter.
technically the highest resolution that on a, like at 100-inch screen the human eye can even perceive. We're done. We have hit the highest end of fidelity. Stop
The
chasing it and just focus on having a good art style.
I think I would love for them to stop for that for a little while and work to a point where they can work up to because there's like one more level above us, and that's like when you look at those Unreal 5 demos, right? Where you see like the game where it's like or what was it? There's like the one game where it's like found footage and it looks realistic. It's like the Riot game where they have like
Oh yeah, I have that wish listed.
yeah.
That one does look kind of neat.
But like
But,
that's,
like-
that's so on a higher level, and those games are small. Like those are like
Yeah,
those are
you're not doing a huge game like that
yeah.
ever.
You are not getting if you want that like an open world. You
That's
are
never
waiting
happening.
Another 20 years, and it's going to take a studio that is going to ride or die on their entire budget to get that.
You would
Oh,
need
you
basically
Star Citizen.
drives to be even more massive on fucking NVMe SSDs. You would need basically at that point, almost the processors that would be required to even make games like that running it. Like it's so absurd the
Well, it's
amount
like
of hardware.
it's like Star Citizen right now. It's something that would just keep blowing up,
scam?
and blowing up. Yeah, something not feasible.
So like there's like that level, but like we don't I don't need like that's cool on like a smaller level for me right now. It's like, oh, this is interesting. I don't really need that though. I'm good. Like I never at any point do I want to feel like I'm playing an actual movie. Right? Like
No,
it's
I
cool
want
that, like, we
games to
have
have a
cinematic
fucking
stuff.
personality.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
like
Give me a good story.
yeah.
I don't give a fuck what it looks like. Give me a good story. Give me a good gameplay. Give me a mixture of both. Porque los dos.
Hell yeah. David, tell
Yo.
me about this last game though. We're talking about it, but let's talk about it.
So this last game is a game that I think I still do have my Amazon pre-order for back when it was one of the last holdouts for the original announced lineup for the Switch.
Hey, you're getting it for that price, goddamn
It wasn't announced. It was announced in the year the Switch launched, not
not at the launch time, but it was in the
it was
same
E3
year.
E3 of 2017. Fucking nuts.
And that is Metroid Prime 4.
We did it.
We did it, boys. We're here. It's real.
I'm still look. I got Prime Remastered. So I want to play that eventually. I never got into it because I was a Halo kid and Halo spoiled the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Fair.
But not to deviate off this, I'm glad it's out and we're gonna talk a lot about it in a second. But I'll never stop wondering what the fuck was Retro doing for like 8 years. It's like a secret, like it's so weird. We were always saying like this like Star Fox racing game, and then Reggie when Reggie retired, he had that like he was hiding something behind that Mario statue. Oh no, it's like an inside thing between me and the team. It's like no, it's like so what the fuck happened? Genuinely, I'm so curious what happened, but I'm glad we're here. We finally see gameplay. How did it look to you guys?
Oh,
I was-
so good.
I was in shock at first because it was like, wait, we're actually getting something. I was expecting it to be like pop up like a subtitle, like it wouldn't be Metroid 4, right? It'd be like
Especially
a Metroid...
where like I was expecting the meme of like, oh, it's Silk Song finally. Like that. I did not have Metroid Prime 4 anywhere in my brain.
Well, because
I
like,
was-
even since 4, we've gotten Dread, so they've shown that they'll do like other stuff with it. I felt like we were gonna get like, oh, it's gonna be Metroid Prime. It's gonna be Metroid like Hunter multiplayer. Or
Small
something.
part of me was hoping for F-Zero. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it might happen.
That's the only thing that was missing to make this truly a perfect presentation.
Microsoft and Nintendo are really coming out to say, hold up, guys, let's buck this trend of everyone just being disappointed by shit. You know what was cool though, is like Metroid Prime and Nintendo. Metroid Prime really makes it feel like a conference trailer that Sony and Microsoft put on, right? Like it's like
Yeah.
that like the way the Prime trailer kind of rolled out felt like it could have been on the Xbox One like a week prior. Like it's like this was like a really cool cinematic, actiony. I know it feels like I know there's a better word, but like more adult game. Not that I give a shit,
Yeah.
but like it felt like, oh, this is like a game I could see on the other platforms here.
Yeah,
which
it
is-
had a lot more of a grittier tone to it for sure.
Yeah, and I think we need that. Like that, like it's cool Nintendo gets all this variety of stuff, but can we have that? Like I don't, we don't need to. The argument shouldn't always be, well, go to PlayStation or Xbox if you want that. Yeah, but what if I want that on Switch as well? Like, there's a market for that, and I think
Yeah, we got Mad World on Wii. Why can't
Yeah.
we have that on Switch?
Mad World.
For real.
Where is my Mad World remastered on Switch?
Where's my Anarchy Reigns remaster?
Remastered.
Where is Devil Third HD?
It's very rare still. It's somewhere there. Anyway,
Sorry, I was derailed this.
dude, it's so good. This is out. it's so good to finally see this. I think it looks great. I think I want to say that if this really can, it feels weird. Nintendo. I don't know. How am I trying to say this? I want this to do spectacular because I think this will revive the franchise and really make Metroid relevant, right? Like,
Yeah.
Dread was great, but Dread's not shaken up.
Dread didn't have mass appeal.
It's 2D. Like, I get that, like, there's stuff like Silk Song and stuff like that, but like, it just didn't shake things up as much as I loved it. It just didn't. But I really want Prime 4 to just do it and make it big, because I would love for this to be a mainstay franchise for this and not see it go away for another decade or two.
It's so
Yeah.
funny that you have Metroidvania, and now the whole sentiment is let's shift away from the 2D. Let's shift away from the Metroidism that makes Metroid.
Well, it's cool because
Let's get,
Metroid really is two different franchises. It is Metroidvania, but it is also Prime. It's like there's two different things going on there, and
yeah, but we don't call shooters Prime likes, you know.
that sounds sick though.
I mean, back in the day, we called them Doom clones.
Yeah.
You can know that. Well, if you're
Boomer shooters.
no, if you're
Yeah, I fucking hate the term boomer shooter so fucking much.
you're mad because you're gonna call it boomer.
It's absolute bullshit.
Or if you're Sony, everything was a Halo killer.
Yep. Everything.
Check out for one day when we do Killzone on Games Gone By.
Resistance is something that we should do.
I do remember quite enjoying Resistance 2.
Even the PSP Resistance games are fun.
Yeah.
Hey, Pepperoni said David is a proven boomer. This is true.
If you've only played Metroid Dread, play Metroid Fusion as well. Fusion, great game.
Absolutely fantastic.
On
One of the few Metroid games I have physical.
on NSO now.
Oh, there you go.
Or just go emulate it.
It's true. What else do we have on the docket? Unless
Only
we're
if
talking
you
about
own it.
Metroid.
LRG had their presentation.
That was the thing.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about this monkey paw of a situation real quick.
Yes, tell us, David.
So I'm fucking sad.
I love starting off a thing like that. It just reminds me, I gotta go pre-order Clock Tower right now. It's gonna close in a little bit.
So here's the thing. Limited Run Games announced a metric fuck ton of shit. I'm just gonna rattle them off real quick in order. Dark Forces Remaster. I mean,
Yo.
it's been out digitally for a while, but from what I hear, it's a good version of it. Valus the Phantasm Soldier Collection 3. Wild that they bother to split them out to 3 fucking parts. I think it's disgusting. Rain World I've never heard of, so I don't care. But we're gonna get to the first one that I am truly hurt by. And that's because I am in the weird niche that really love these games. And that's the Fighting Force collection. I love Fighting Force 1 and 2. Fighting Force was a fun, fantastic beat 'em up on the PS1 and N64 and Dreamcast. And then Fighting Force 2 was a weird attempt to do Contra as a 3D game and move away from the beat 'em up aspect. But it was fun. It was different. I really enjoyed those games. I am sad to see that it is through Limited Run that we're getting them at all. Square Enix is developing it, but it's basically Limited Run that's actually publishing it. So I fucking hate that. Because those are also games I would have paid to have physicals of in the modern era. And I guess not now. Then we got Renane. Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus for Switch. That one kind of came out of left field and sucked to see. Another one that came out of left field and kind of sucked to see is Cosmic Fantasy Collection 2. Wild to see that. G.I. Joe Wrath of Cobra. A name I haven't seen in a long fucking time. Assault Suit Linus 2, the Saturn Tribute. Another name I haven't seen in a long time. Fucking Snow Bros. Snowbird's Wonderland.
Yeah, Beyond Good and Evil.
We're getting there. Shut up.
I know. I weren't even mentioning it.
C Smash VRS. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't care. Gimmick 2. Don't care. Penny's Big Breakaway. I don't know. Then after that was Beyond Good and Evil 20th anniversary, which they did confirm was going to have an additional preview for Beyond Good and Evil 2 in there, which I'm sure Gore was losing his fucking mind over.
Yeah, they confirmed like in a weird like reply thread on Twitter that Beyond Good and Evil 2 was like still in production or like still in the works or some shit, right?
Yeah, because there's gonna be there's new stuff
Right.
in Anniversary that links it to 2, showing that 2's still alive.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is shitty that it's going to have exclusive content for that version. But I'm fine with my Xbox original copy of Beyond Good and Evil. I don't need any other. And then we got a new Jay and Silent Bob game. I'm surprised those are still going, but you know what? Fuck it. Cool to see.
Beat 'em ups. So this one it was a Kickstarter is how it started off.
Yep.
And it's been in production for a long ass time, and in between they kind of helped fund it. They made like an 8-bit beat 'em up as well.
Yeah.
And that's how they kind of like helped push it past the edge. And now this is
Okay.
the finished product coming out. So
I do need to eventually check those out. Just sucks that I probably won't ever get the physical versions of them.
yeah.
Because I remember skipping out on the NES ones they did, and now I'm actually glad I did, considering all the shit that's come out about their NES cards. But
Fun
that
game.
is,
So I hope this one coming out is just as good.
hell yeah. And then something I absolutely was not ever expecting to see. We're diving deep into the Tromaverse here with fucking Toxic Crusaders.
Yeah.
Again, I am sad. I would pay money for a physical of a fucking Toxic Avenger game. I guess that's just not happening now. Then we weirdly got Hitman Blood Money Reprisal. So is that just like, I think that's just a remake of the PS2 game, which is fascinating to see. But then we got the one that hurts me the most. And that is, we're getting a re-release of Fear Effect. I fucking love me some Fear Effect. I'm going to go on a quick soapbox here. Fear Effect is a wild survival horror game that I both recommend people play and I don't ever recommend people to play. Because it is the epitome of the shittiest of shittiest tank controls. Because they're expecting you to play it with tank controls, but while none of the other enemies have to obey those laws of physics. So enemies will like quickly spin and snap and react to you, and you do not have the means to do that. But Fear Effect is phenomenal. It's a survival horror game that has a lot of different endings to it because there's a lot of actions that as you go through the game alter the storyline. There's one scene that'll always live in rent-free in my brain when I first came across it as a kid, where one of your companions can get kidnapped. And you just find him fucking hacked up in a meat freezer if he gets kidnapped. And he hasn't survived to the final conflict, but it is possible to save him for that conflict. But there's just a lot of wild, really intense stuff. It's drenched in a lot of Chinese syndicate mafia style story. Really just all around a fantastic fucking game. I recommend at least watching a playthrough of Fear Effect 1. It's such a fun and interesting and unique fucking experience, but it is shitty to play. So, initial excitement for, ooh, we're doing something with Fear Effect 1 again. Maybe we'll get better control. Wait a second. Fucking limited run. So, immediately disappointed. Also, to see that the Starship Troopers game is getting its physical through limited run. Also, that Lollipop Chainsaw is getting its fucking physical through limited run.
They
But
not
I
even
didn't
just for the. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
Not even for the fact that obviously that Limited Run's done some shit. I just don't want everyone to monopolize under one specific thing. Like
Yeah.
it's already grating having to buy off just this one specific place. It feels weird, right? It's funny because it's the opposite of that Steam thing for a lot of people, for me at least. But like I would rather buy
again,
it off other people just because I think there needs to be more competition with that, and it just feels funky that it's just limited run readiness when they've already been proven to have some not great track record.
Yeah.
agreed.
That
And also, you sorry, you go ahead, Kels. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that feels really weird too, especially with the Jay and Silent Bob thing. Like that was a Kickstarter, like, and I'm pretty sure like physical was one of their things. Like you pay this much, you'll get a physical copy. So what's the deal with like limited run now? Is it now all of a sudden like not a limited thing? Is it just the open
No,
pre-order? Like so does
almost
that mean
everything
other
is just
people
open
are
pre-order.
yeah, so other people are now getting in on that you're I don't know, it's
Oh,
a weird
it could also
conundrum
be
thing.
Kickstarter exclusive stuff versus that. Like a
It's just weird. I feel like because this game's been in the work for a while. Like you signed up, you got your thing, and you were promised this thing, and now it's all of a sudden like a not a limited. It's I don't know. It's just a kind of it kind of
Uh,
feels weird. To me,
you with some of those though, it could be more exclusive stuff. So it's like whenever
for sure.
if you kickstart like a board game, it'll have like some sort of branding on it, like Kickstarter edition
Yeah.
or have its own like cover art or something. So it could be that it could have something on it that refers to that.
Yeah, it's gonna
Whereas,
have the limited run stuff on it now.
yeah. Oh, there you go. Well, I'm curious how that would go too, but I mean, I mean, it's like this. I see this in stores now, right? So it's like I
Yeah.
got the copy of that, but it was kickstarted on there too. So,
Yeah.
um, it's frustrating. Just how much limited run runs this, and it's just not cheap. I just looked right now and I forgot that I won't have payday in time for that Alan Wake 2 thing, so I'm probably gonna have to consolidate what I'm spending on this last. I wasn't planning on spending. I'm going to Blockbuster. Yeah, I'm going to Blockbuster tomorrow, guys. You guys want anything? That's kind of weird to say. I am going to Blockbuster tomorrow. That's so
weird.
fucking weird. I'm gonna buy some merch there. I'm gonna buy. I forgot that the place that makes his hats is in Portland, so I'm like, oh cool. So I'm gonna go by their store real quick and check out the hats. But besides that, I'm not. But it just sucks. I'm like, oh fuck, that's $200. And there's no PayPal on there too, which is bullshit. Let me have PayPal so I can at least break up my payments. Fuck.
Yeah, and I just
No interest in
I am of two
Pokemon.
mindset. One, I do agree that it needs to be split up more. Again, Super Rare Games is phenomenal, and I wish they were able to get more licenses because they deserve it. But also, some of these companies don't need to be going through limited run. Fucking Square Enix, which is behind Fear Effect, and behind there was like one other thing in their thing that they showed off. But Square Enix has Square Enix money. If they want to go ahead and do this, they could do their own limited print run of their own games. We see them do it with Final Fantasy.
Pixel remasters, literally.
Like, it's fucking wild to me. They don't need to go through another company like this. It's disgusting. I hate it. And then there's a bunch of other no-name shit. Double Shake, Ghost, a new Rugrats game, the Gex trilogy, which is wild. A lot of people are waiting for that.
Cool. David. Actually, oh yeah, I think it's North Carolina. I know you don't like them. I don't like them. Would you, if you were in the area, would you still be dropping by like the limited run store?
I would piss on their floor.
I've always wanted.
No, in all honesty, no.
I've wanted to see it. I've always
mean-
wanted to visit it because it looked cool, but like it does bug me just because of like how much they fucked over their own reputation. I mean, to be fair, I mean I guess it's the opposite of being fair. They did have some scummy shit beforehand, right? When it was
They had
when it was like limited 2,000 copies, it was like people were always calculating. They're like, how is it that they have extra copies for this when they shouldn't have?
yeah.
It was always like they always gave their friends priority in their own production, which got unlimited run, which made copies, which were like there's a lot of seedy back room shit with
They have a long history of scummy shit. the 3DO games were like my final straw.
Yeah,
like at
so-
that point,
Yeah, so it's funny because I agree. Like I've always not. I was a fan.
Yeah.
But like,
same. I have like 50 some unlimited run games.
but like over time, and I was seeing this, and I saw a lot of videos doing some research on it, and I you go back to the podcast like a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I started to I waned down a lot on that. But it was like that was like a matter of like, okay, it is what it is. It sucks. It's dumb. Whatever. But like now, like for sure, lying to your customers on that, not being transparent about what that is, and then kind of like being fussy about it, right? Like I don't know, like it should that stuff goes beyond the point where you can trust them now, right? Like can you trust that this stuff is actually gonna be of quality? Can you trust that? It really throws a wrench into all that, which is super unfortunate because.
And I just saw an update where now they're delaying the fucking 3DO re-release because they're having trouble finding jewel cases. The fuck do you mean you're having trouble finding fucking jewel cases?
Here's my issue with that though. Why are you promising stuff if you don't have everything lined up ahead of time, right? Like if you're gonna do that, something that needs jewel cases, and you're gonna like announce that and like, all right, let's do this. Would you not check? Do we have all this in line? Yes. Okay. Good. Not like, oh well, you see, like we promised it, and then when it came out in production, we just couldn't do it. It's like that. That seems like piss poor planning to me. But this is someone not in production at all. Maybe I'm looking at it funny, but like that's just how I see it. It's like it just seems like you're not planning this properly.
No, they're literally flying by the seat of the pants, and maybe even worse by the fact that like they have Embracer's money now. So like that's how they're able to do also a lot of this shit is Embracer is footing the bill, knowing that they're able to get bigger contracts with companies consistently, like a Square Enix and other companies like that. But it's still one of those things that like, to what end? Like fucking Embracer has shut off so many fucking studios. I doubt it was anything we were going to cover, but it's one thing I want to bring up real quick while we're talking about them. RIP and peace to the fucking Alone in the Dark remake developers. You had one try to apparently make a successful game, but oops, you didn't meet sales goals when, you know, you probably could have had lighter sales goals, not paying for the fucking dude from fucking Stranger Things to be Edward Carnby. Unfortunate. I know the game was a little glitchy at launch, but everything I've actually seen about the story and gameplay looked engaging. Still got to pick that game up at some point because I do love Alone in the Dark. But oops, you fucked up once, you're getting the axe, and that seems to be the story of a lot of studios that Embracer has closed. Is you get one shot, go.
I don't know. Yeah, well, I always felt weird that Embracer came in and just like said, "Hey, we bought 40,000 licenses. We're making games for all of them." Like, and there was, and to be fair, like even like Time Splitters and stuff like that, I'm like, is there a market for this right now? Like, you better like market the fuck out of this and make sure like people know about this. And
they don't market. Like, I genuinely forgot that even the fucking Alone in the Dark remake had even come out. And again, I'm an Alone in the Dark fan. I fucking love that series. I completely forgot it was even a thing until I saw it was out and there were Let's Plays going up with it.
I don't normally like to like do or say with it what I want to say in it this because it feels like, again, like I don't like to speak too much from a place I have known nothing about, but I will say, just judging from what I've seen, the head marketing of Xbox stepped down to go do Roblox shit, which is fucking great because I feel like the Xbox marketing has been ass. Like we talked about that when Hellblade 2 was coming out. It's like, what the fuck, Hellblade 2 is coming out? Like, why is there not more shit everywhere about this right now? Why is it like a tweet saying Hellblade 2? Like, what the fuck? Like, please, can we get someone else at the helm of that to do more stuff? But it just feels like people are really out of touch with marketing on these kind of games. It feels like people are out of touch with how much games need to be doing in terms of sales, right? Because like ironically enough, because how much did Alone in the Dark, wasn't it like $40-$50 for
I think it launched at 60.
Was it?
Yeah, it launched at near full price.
Probably then.
Which was definitely not the right move to make.
No. Alone in the dark. What should I do? Like GameStop, I guess. Not sure.
Probably.
Yeah, this is it. You know what? It's probably why I didn't sell. I don't know where the fuck to look for this game right now. Yeah.
Oh, just check Steam.
Say again?
Yeah, it's $60 on Steam.
Yeah. So
That
so
it should have been 50. And I
Yeah.
think here's the thing. There is such a big market for AA games right now, I think, like, right? Like, in a weird sense, it's a hard market to get into, right? Because you got to do some legwork. But
Yeah.
like the success of a AA game, as shown by like Helldivers and Power World and shit, is like where people need to be aiming at, right? Like smaller productions and quality like that. But like fucking advertise your shit, because yeah, Alone in the Dark I feel like could have done well, but yeah, it just kind of came and went, and it's like, oh nope, they didn't sell. Well, no shit.
real quick side tangent. Are we gonna play Helldivers again at some point?
Yeah, when I get back, once I get back, I only have 2 more trips left. So
I'm getting PTSD from when I was buying a bunch of games when you, me, and Gore were like,
Oh,
"I
we'll
want to play all
play.
these games."
we'll play, because I've been wanting to play that game. But yeah, when I get back.
All right. Real quick, last couple things. I'm not going to announce most of the other things. I'm going to be honest, I just don't care. But the other ones that really hurt my soul, Tombow 1 and 2, and Bubsy, all getting physicals.
Kells is
And
happy.
you know what?
Kells is for that, right?
Oh, I'm very happy. Yeah, Toomba's a $90 fucking game. Give me that
Yeah.
new one cheap.
So I'm sad about that. I mean, I'm excited that they're happening, but like I'm sad that
Not
The
as
physicals will
excited
be
for
limited
2,
run.
but I'll deal with it.
We're in that territory where if I'm not gonna buckle for Clock Tower, I'm not gonna buckle for any of these. If anything, I'll probably play scalper prices for Clock Tower, and I will hate myself for it. But I refuse to give them any
So-
direct money.
So you're saying I should buy 2 copies right now
Yes.
and sell you one for double the price?
Yes.
God damn. Toomba's actually going for $150 right now. Never
Fuck
mind.
my ass. That's unnecessary.
Yeah, that's insane.
David, what
They're
else were you
good
upset
games.
about?
They're not fucking $150 good.
David, what else were you upset about?
That was it. It was a limited run. What else would I be upset about?
Wasn't there anything else to the presentation?
No, that was the end of the presentation.
Oh, okay. I didn't watch Devolver. I should watch Devolver. Oops.
Yeah, I forgot about them again.
Happens. All right. Anything else that we happen to have gone by?
I mean, we could talk real quick about the Doctor Disrespect where we joked about it enough.
Well, that's all we can do these days is just joke about it, because fuck hell.
Shout out to once again an adult feeling they had for some reason need to be messaging a minor.
A married man
minor.
with children. Yeah.
But don't worry, he was first and foremost in front of the Protect the Kids when it.
So
But isn't he also in? I don't remember if it was confirmed or not, but an alleged wife beater as well.
No, he's just cheated on his wife.
Yeah, he
is
was
the
Cheated
thing.
on his wife.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
other occasions, and now this. It's like, dude, you have a wife at home. You have kids. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
And he had the
Waiting
audacity
for
to
them to
mention.
be paid.
He had the audacity to mention that he's like, I should be more responsible because I am a father and a husband. Like, Jesus H Christ, brother. He changed statement to say minor and changed it to say individual. He changed it back to say individual minor or something like that. Now he put minor back in
Yeah.
there. He knows people saw that.
Uh,
No, so I mean, this kind of just keeps the realm of like, watch what you're doing, and I don't know, man. This shit's so fucking.
It's honestly anyone defending him, like, in what fucking world, other than this weird online parasocial bullshit, is it ever acceptable for an adult to be messaging a minor? Period. Unless
No.
it's a family member or like your child's close family friend, where it's like, oh yeah, they're basically like a second child as well. Why should an adult ever be messaging a minor? Just full stop.
I it's funny because like I still troll Drake fans all the time, but not even troll them. I just telling them like it's fucking weird. No, you see, he's a co-star or he's a child star, just give, like being a mentor. I don't want if I have a fucking daughter, no fucking 37-year-old man is gonna be mentioning my teenage daughter just to be a mentor. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like that's so fucking weird. Also, Quiet on Set. Go watch that. Maybe a child actor shouldn't be talking to adults more often.
Yeah, and just like on top of all of that, like even if they were of age, like just don't fucking talk to your fans like that. That's such a nasty power dynamic in general. Like you're be a normal person, go fuck your wife, dog. Go talk to someone else, go to a bar. You don't be hitting up people that are sliding into your DMs that because they watch your shit and then trying to fuck them.
That's the thing is all if you're single, you know, I'll give a gray area for if you're single. Like a power dynamic thing is shitty, but still, if you're all consenting adults
At this
the end of
fucking
the day,
point,
whatever.
at this fucking
But
point,
if
like
you're-
the barest of fucking minimum, be single and be 18. Like at this point, like it's
Yeah.
it's still it's you're still gonna hit that weirdness of like, hey, a 40-year-old man's talking to like an 18-year-old, but like on the grand scheme of things, you have to draw a line somewhere. If it's not 18, it's gonna be 19. If it's not 19, it's gonna be 20. Like I get it, but like
my personal rule, they should ideally at least be drinking age. Like at
Half their
21,
age plus
that's
7.
for me. Yeah.
golden rule. I don't know, man. It's so bizarre to me with that. Like I feel weird having former students like follow me when they're of age and graduated. Like it's just it's like I don't understand like how that appeals. And like it comes off even more weird, right? When it's like someone that one has a family,
Yeah.
but like two, they look like regular dudes. They can go out and meet people.
Yeah.
Like it's
Although clearly they can, apparently.
yeah, it's so bizarre to me. So I was mentioning to Kels that I was talking to someone on Twitter, and it kind of makes sense, this whole reason as to why Twitch was staying quiet about it was because this was found out via someone at Twitch just looking at Dr. Disrespect's messages to other people.
Were they just randomly like, oh, I'm
That-
bored, I'm gonna
That's
go
what I'm
look in?
saying. So like this was found out, like a whistleblower said, "Hey, this is what he's doing right now." And because nothing was said that was like, yeah, he said the quote that Dr. Disrespect said was, sometimes conversations leaned towards being inappropriate, or started leaning towards the inappropriate side, but never said anything, whatever. So, yet, right? But
Yeah.
that's such a weird fucking But-
Yeah, that's what you can say until we see the receipts and he's talking like some horrid shit.
No,
That's
I
when-
think no. I think it was brewing and kind of just leaned there, but I bet, like if this wasn't called out or whistleblowed on, then it would have been like it could have probably eventually gotten there. But that he was messaging some minor, they were having conversations. Someone decided, you know what, I'm gonna look at Dark Disrespect's messages. Oh, he's talking to a minor, and then he had to flag down Twitch, and they'd be like, okay, we see what you're doing, you can't be that. But then he could say, why are you spying on our messages? Like, why? And that could blow that whole thing up and just ruin a lot of Twitch's, I guess, like credibility with that, because it's like like Kel was saying before you got in here, it's like we know Messenger is open, right? Like people could see that shit, but we
Yeah.
don't expect people to see that shit, right?
I expect people to see that shit. I expect like if I'm on anything and I'm messaging saying
It's being
anything,
recorded and
it's being
sent to
recorded.
someone.
Yeah, someone's looking at that.
But
Like I
but
fully
we
expect
know
to
it.
be.
But I guess we don't like to like if you. It's that
Me
it's that
personally,
veiled
I'm just
sense.
not messaging minors, so maybe I'm just built differently in a
You
in an obscene
can't be a
manner.
streamer. I'm
You're not
sorry.
too worried about what's going on. But no, working in IT, I fully suspect that anything that's happening on any platform that is not owned and maintained by you is either being looked at directly or being basically fed through some kind of automated purpose for selling to some other company.
No, I understand that, but like no one wants to know that,
Oh, for sure.
right?
Yeah.
So when someone comes out and says, "Yeah, we're snooping through someone's messages by random, nothing just prompted them to
That's
do
the
that."
part I don't believe. I highly suspect
It had
they
to be.
probably have like a list of folks that like, we need to keep an eye on certain people that attract certain demographics.
Yeah, but
Because
like,
they have the demographic data.
that seems a bit funky though too. Like, and the more rabbit hole we go down of like how these messages were being seen from a third party is where Amazon I guess Amazon, right, can fall into murky waters of like how is
They're
it?
covered by TOS.
Yeah, but there's like,
You have no privacy from the owners,
they
and because of different safe harbor laws, they have to report things.
but think about this though. Twitch paid out Dr. Disrespect. Something in there is a thorn that was gonna get them to lose against Dr. Disrespect in court.
I don't think it was that they were going to lose. It was the simplest way to
Get them the fuck out
avoid
of
the
here.
conversation we're
Yeah.
having now.
Yeah.
No one wants people to be awake or cognizant of how much companies spy on you. The fastest way to make the problem go away is like, hey, we caught you doing some heinous shit. Instead of dragging this out and we can explain that we, really go into detail of the spying we do, take money, shut up and go away, and then you could pretend to have some dignity.
Yeah, that's exactly why I think it was. I think it was a thing like, hey, we know what happened here. We need you to get the fuck out of here. Say whatever you want, but this is what we know happened, and here's the proof.
Okay.
And it's just Doc just trying to.
'Cause
He's lucky that's not coming out.
that's what I'm saying though.
so
It
far.
just seems. How often do you ever see a mega corporation pay someone out like that though? That's
It
like
happens more often than you think.
I feel like that
It's
happens
just
like an
it's usually
injury.
never publicized to this degree.
I
I watched Succession, so I'm mind poisoned by that. I'm like, yeah, everyone's doing that. Duh.
fair.
Having worked in the corporate atmosphere for most of my career, it happens a lot more than you would think. It's just rarely ever publicized.
Fair. But yeah, that fallout came from a random Twitch employee, former Twitch employee, quote unquote,
Just
right?
stirring the pot.
Because they Twitch can have a lot of employees or volunteers that can kind of roll into that mantra. But I didn't like how they were taunting this information for a while though, which is scumbaggy to me. If you look back at that Twitter profile someone dug up where they play like concert, they play music, and like, hey, if we get 100 people to show up tonight, I'm gonna yell out why he got banned. It's like, I don't necessarily care about that.
And what's really weird about it too is people have been pulling clips, and I guess this has been like getting kind of dropped slowly, like over the past few months.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Like there's another podcast that Destiny has, and
That
he
straight
had
up just
someone
said
on
it.
Twitch on that just straight up said like, yeah, he was talking to a minor, and they played it off as like a joke, and now this came up, and then
It didn't sound like a joke to me either. Like, what the fuck?
no, it didn't. Like, but they were kind of like their reaction to it made me think like they were trying to play it up as a joke. But how he said it earnestly, he's like, "What? No, this is why I know."
Yeah, like I'm not lying. This is real.
Yeah. And there's something else too that it was another kind of situation like that where someone was like, no, I think it was Slasher. He posted something on Twitter like a few years ago.
Yeah. He
like,
said,
kinda hinting towards it.
he said, I know what happened. I can't say anything about it. But yeah, it was kind of he's super cryptic about it.
Mhm.
Which makes sense, right? Because when there's a minor involved, that you can't just go about spouting bunch of stuff like that. Yeah, I'm trying to formulate thoughts. You guys have anything to say on it while I'm formulating thoughts?
I mean, I've said all that I feel is really relevant to this. No adult should be messaging a minor, unless it is your child or a very close friend of your child, where it's like, they're basically living at your house anyway, and they see you as another parental figure. You have no reason to be messaging a minor. Fucking stop. Get some help.
I think
Talk to their parent first.
I should say this, extended conversations 100%. Right? Like you shouldn't be like having ongoing relations, friendly or otherwise, with minors. I think Mudahar had a video today where he talked about, he's like, yeah, he's like, I do get minors that message me every once in a while saying, hey, I want to do IT. What should I know to go into school? Yeah, I feel like if you're a responsible goddamn creator, which apparently there's less of these days, then yeah, like you can tell, you can have a conversation with like them and say, hey, this is cool, this cool, good luck. But like
Absolutely not. I think in a situation like that, if you're getting enough of those kinds of messages, you make a video. That's what you point
to. Realize this as an adult that has a job, a career that can handle a conversation with that. You know, it's like I get that sort of thing where it's like that. So it's like that's why it's weird for me to see this, because like, first off,
you're in a different type of atmosphere than what these things are.
First off, let me say this, and I hope if any former students are watching, I don't mean this in a bad way, I swear. But like,
y'all suck. Go away.
No. It's like I do not understand how these grown ass adults can have conversations with 16, 17-year-olds.
Yep.
And like get to that point, because like, again, if they're watching, I'm sorry, I don't mean this in a bad way, but like we're at two different
idiots, dude.
We're at two different age range right now, where it's like, because I do have former our students that have graduated that have texted me since then. The most recent wave, for sure, they've been talking to me. But it's like the conversations are not mega substance right now. Like it's like the deep ass conversations I have with the friends I've known for years. Yeah, because we've gone through shit. We know through that. Like they have conversations with this, and I will chime in with life advice with that. But again, we're talking about a graduate adult that I can like, all right, I can give a little bit of advice on, but like, and I give advice on there, but I just don't feel comfortable. Like I now that I had like all these people adding me like on my Insta, like I have some students that are still currently in school adding me, and I'm just like, no. When you graduate, yes. Now, because I just don't feel comfortable. I don't know how people feel so comfortable with that, and how do you have that conversation with them? Because like these conversations are not of substance. What are you guys talking about? What are you guys doing? That's why I'm like saying like the bare minimum thing of like, if you want to go out and a fucking 18-year-old, go do it. Like fucking what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio does that shit all the time. I said my issue with it is that he dates them and dumps them when they're 25, which is fucking that's the shit part.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
If you want to be who you are and bang 18 to 21-year-olds, then have at it. Like there has to be a bare minimum. Fuck it, I guess. Like whatever. But like that's a little bit of emotional baggage on that point. But like, how do you have
even
these...
that? I feel gross about.
I do.
We're acknowledging that this is the bare minimum. Oh, he's getting them straight at when they're
It
legal.
is. It's weird. Like I said, but we gotta have a bare minimum because people can't fucking hit this part. People can't even handle that, right?
Yeah,
like that's the problem. That's why I have
because we know what he does.
What?
And it's just that context.
Yeah.
What he does. He's habitually just cycling through them. It's not.
It's gross. But it's a legal bare minimum that's like, well, at least he's being that part and not fucking getting them when they're 16 and 17. Like, okay, God, like, well, I'll take a W where we can at this point, right? But it's like, it just does not make sense to me, because having conversations with teenagers all fucking day, I will go and seek out adults to have conversation cleanse. Like I gotta have a palate cleanser conversation with adults, because I'm like, holy shit, I just talk to teenagers all day about the most nonsensical stuff. Can we talk about just something? Goddamn, let's talk about the weather for fuck's sake or something. Because like I don't understand how you guys have these conversations with them and feel okay with it. Like it just feels weird. And being a father too, like fuck off. Like that's even fucking worse.
Yeah.
Like,
No, my little brother's 17, and I've played games with him and like his friends from school that like I played Fortnite and shit with them, Apex. His friends are fucking annoying. Like my little brother's incredibly well adjusted. He's cool. Like he's awesome. His friends are fucking fucked, dude. Like
yeah,
I
like,
don't understand how they exist.
yeah,
How they're able to breathe without having to focus on it.
yeah. It's just like the mental leaps that happen there are just not quite linked. So it's like, what the fuck are you as how old is he? I looked at this.
He's 38. He's like
So
almost 40.
so this happened what 4 or 5 years ago. So
Or
how
wait,
can
no,
you?
I think he was 38 then, is the thing.
Yeah. So it's a doctor disrespect. Oh, I love how the third,
It's
or
most searched.
fourth reason is Doctor Respect minor messages. He's 42. So
Oh
how
my
could
God.
you?
Jesus Christ.
How could you, older than all of us right now,
Yeah.
have a conversation with a minor? Which let's throw him a bone. Let's say she's 17 years old. Let's throw him a bone. How could you have a
I
conversation
mean,
with a
that's what you're
17
trying
year
to
old?
do.
Have a 17-year-old and like lean into that conversation and like not feel fucking weird about that.
Yeah.
Cause like, I hold on. It's actually, hold on really quick. This is super off topic. Let me show you this picture that popped up. I love this picture right here. You just his head and you see the top of a. This looks like a fucking miner.
Like he literally looks like the "Hello, fellow kids" meme,
Here's
and
you see the
going
top of her
after
head.
fellow kids.
I don't, it's just so mind-boggling to me, dude. Like it's how it leans there. If I have no idea. And it's frustrating because this is like a lot of people. It just really always happens to like land in our it lands it's frustrating, especially coming like a Smash player of all people, right? Because I have to deal with this shit all the time.
Yeah, your community needed a few cleanups.
Yeah, I'll never forget that in the middle of COVID. It was me, Samuel, and I forget who else were just like online and we're just refreshing Twitter, like, because it was like a night where they were all getting outed, and we're like, all right, refresh. Oh fuck, look at this player. And then
I mean, hell, there was sexual assault shit going on at the Evo we went to.
Oh my God.
that was the one. That was
Yeah.
that was the big one actually. Yeah. So it's I don't get it. It's kind of what's throwing me off right now. I think this is why I'm so flustered for words. Is the character he poses as, and like you see him playing shooters, right? That just it's so funny because like it's even though he plays Fortnite too, stuff like that, right? It's just outside the realm of like the Minecraft streamers or the Smash players, right? It's throwing me off because or the Overwatch people, right? It's throwing me off because it's like not the community I'm used to seeing when it comes to this stuff. It's like a little bit different.
Yeah.
And you would think like he's playing a character, so he knows he's probably aware enough to like not lean into this stuff. He has a wife, but like bro can handle it.
Fucking, I don't understand. And that's ultimately what it boils down to. I don't fucking understand. Fucking wild. The audacity.
Like a small part of me wants to be like, we need to start limiting the way minors can message, but also it's like, also you're an adult, just fucking stop.
I mean, yeah, surely there is always the question of, where the fuck are the parents in all this? But however, remembering that I was a lad at one point, and I was also the only tech literate person in my family.
I was as well. My family had no idea what the fuck I was doing.
Nope.
But that's a different age.
Child.
I want to say that's a different age, right? Like how the fuck are you a parent now and just not just be more aware that shit's different now?
Because parents now let phones babysit their children, and that's it.
That and like the whole whisper idea was a dumb fucking idea from the start. Like having these easy ways for to message in or out either direction, really stupid.
Yeah, because why
Not a great idea.
why
You're just
yeah,
enabling a direct line of contact. Either like no matter what the intention is, that's not good.
because why would you want a streamer to contact other people? Right?
There's a
Exactly.
reason YouTube doesn't have it anymore. Like,
Yeah.
full stop. Remember back in those days?
I faintly do, yeah.
I do actually. People talk shit.
Back when you could reply to a video and it was just a constant chain of re.
Yeah, it was re. It was, I was reminiscing about that recently. Just yeah, it was like if by the time you're like having a full conversation, it's like 5 or 7 re. Then you couldn't even fit the whole title in there, so it was like then it had 3 letters of the first word ... Oh man, reply videos were so funny. I miss the old internet.
Different time.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I really do miss the old internet sometimes. Yeah, man. This whole shit's just nonsense. It's the same conversation we have with Drake. Like, why are you
Well,
talking to young people? Stop it.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
especially funny, especially with how like out and proud Doc has been here lately, being like anti-LGBTQ and just being a fucking prick in general. It's always those talking the loudest, right?
It's so funny because
Yeah.
you know what was disappointing was this guy Jake the Viking was on a lot
Oh
of,
yeah, Mr. Beast, dude.
yeah, he was on a lot of old Mr. Beast videos and got kicked out. Not really kicked out, but he just kind of got phased out. Came out, started talking shit to
Chris.
Mr. B. Yeah, Ava. She goes by now.
Yep. Yeah,
Um,
Ava Chris,
Yeah, and
which is a dope ass name, Star Wars name too.
hell yeah. Starts talking shit about that, and it's like, and they were defending Dr. Spect a little bit, and then also they came out and said, hey, before you talk shit about me being a bad influence on my kids, how about your brother-in-law? You watch your brother-in-law there because they dug out a record of Jake the Viking's
Child
brother-in-law
molestation charges.
child molestation charges of a child 1 through 11. So I was like, that's a fucking slap back and a half. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That should be a person that should be fucking in the ground.
Yeah. Well, I know. Yeah. So it wasn't them. It was their brother-in-law. But it's like, hey, maybe instead of pointing fingers at someone online that you don't associate with anymore, maybe go check
you
your
got real
brother-in-law.
issues, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. Go deal with your family first, maybe. Sometimes
It's coming from inside the house.
Yeah. That's exactly
laugh
what
at
it
that.
is.
It's always the loudest people sometimes, and you know what? Also, it's weirdly enough too. It's also the loudest. I don't want to put this thing out there, but like there is some sort of small trend to it where it's like sometimes the loudest people that are like, oh, for the kids are also the ones hiding shit.
Yeah. No.
There's a reason why the thing he doubts protest too much exists.
Yeah, it just like maybe you shouldn't speak up so much, which is why I guess Darkside Phil was also talking shit, but also slightly defending Dr. Disrespect, and I'm assuming it's because
Phil's also messaging some minors.
No, his first girlfriend that he had on camera was 18 at the time,
Oh Lord.
and she flew out the country to live with him. So it's like, how young were you guys talking? And he's like, oh, 18. I was like, I don't think so. Press exit out.
Good need to see the receipts on that one.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that was my first thought, was like, I think he's trying to like lighten it so that way in case anything would ever come out with about him, he's like, oh, it wasn't that bad. But yeah, it's I don't know. I don't even know what to do with all this shit. It's so fucking wild that we're still dealing. Do people just
Dude,
not realize?
Dude's fucking toasted.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be fair, but also trying to be fair.
He'll still be like a micro celebrity. He'll be on Kick or something within the year.
Yeah, because there's always gonna be the rabid fan base like that.
Yeah.
You're never
there's
gonna
always people
lose.
defending him for sure.
Yeah, no, he still has people defending him like right now, and like all this different shit going on. They're
It's,
calling
well,
him
the
people
argument
need to touch
currently,
grass.
context.
the argument currently is did he know if she was a minor?
If he didn't know and he didn't put that in like his post,
Right. Or also, hey, maybe
then
be
he's
a fucking
idiot.
be a husband and stop messaging anyone inappropriately.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, like you're still stepping in shit. It's like
And also, like, again, why bother engaging in this weird faux celebrity bullshit? Like, you fucking play video games for a living. Calm the fuck
No,
down.
that's why though.
You have no grand insight into life. Shut the fuck up. Play your video games. You don't need to be interacting with people. Go outside and make real goddamn friends.
No, it's
He says on a podcast of two online friends.
but it really is like giving that celebrityism to regular dudes, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, they have that power because I mean, like we said about music, right? It's like
Yeah.
your favorite artist has slept with underage people,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and there's no way you can prove it. There's no way you can prove against it. You just know because there are girls that are always ready right there, and I'm sure many have lied about ages. I'm sure some have not lied about ages.
Well, there was a very predominant forum post back whenever I was in high school. It was a revenge porn site, pretty much, and a lot of
Yeah.
it was like women sharing revenge porn of dudes and bands that were hitting them up whenever they were underage, and they were showing like, oh look, just cock shaming them and just doing a whole lot of exposing people on there. It's really fucking funny.
Yeah, so it's
I
like
just remember being like, "Oh shit! Here's the top 10 billion of Vans Warped Tour, all fucking creeps."
Yeah, I look forward to that documentary when that happens one day.
they've
Yeah.
always said the reason why like music doesn't really get like Me Too'd is because that fuck everyone.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like you have no
Everyone's
music
going
industry at
down.
that point. No, what would you say is the most egregious one that you remember out of that list?
Oh man.
Kels, no, for the
Oh, for that list specifically.
yeah,
So what are we talking about?
your revenge dicks.
Your revenge one.
Oh, what's the criteria I'm going off?
Oh, what was the most prominent band you saw get hit?
Oh, A Day to Remember was a big one. They got blown up because their bassist was a
I do remember. Yeah.
predator. And
Yeah.
and like I remember seeing that like years beforehand, and then like it was like a few albums back, like, and then it was relatively recently where it like really blew up, and then he actually got kicked out of the band. It was kind of surprising. Like he actually stayed in like years after like all of the stuff like started coming out,
Mm-hmm.
and they're one of the bigger bands in the scene for sure.
Yeah, I can.
And it was like multiple times. Like it wasn't just like one lady or two. Like it was a lot of people.
Oh
that
well,
he
you
was,
know, like
talking to.
I don't want to like generalize and say
Yeah.
heinous shit, right? But like, if your band was like doing that emo shit in the mid 2000s, your groupies were all high schoolers. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
like,
there's a good chance that they were one like a good portion of them underage for sure.
right. So it's like that has a stranglehold on the music industry, but what it kind of just doesn't really have that massive of a hold on the streaming stuff. So it's like that's why it kind of like leaks out still here or there. But like obviously there's still shit going on now. Granted, it was 4 years ago, so it's like we can't really loop it in with the ones that you see now. So it's hard to say like when will he learn? Because I guess maybe he has. I hope he's not done that shit since then. But I mean, we still see that shit happen now.
I mean, fuck, it was just recently, it was only like the last year or two where Till Lindemann, the frontman for Rammstein, had allegations still of recent minors making allegations against them. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Hey, what was this? I didn't understand enough because I didn't have time. I forgot. I keep forgetting to look. Who is that? The person you said on Twitter, David, that you were saying that got outed as a fake person or something?
Oh,
Oh, Midori.
Yeah. So give me the backstory on this. Give me the gist on this.
that's kind of happened
Yeah.
in the Star Wars fandom here recently too. It's funny.
Yeah, it happened with another person as well recently. It's wild how many people cosplaying as Asians are being revealed right now. But TLDR, Leaker Midori had some insane shit come out about them. I guess there were a bunch of people. So this is the weird shit that goes on in a lot of these communities, and it's low-key why I don't get involved with certain aspects of the game collecting community,
For sure.
because I hate the weird like smoke and mirrors shit that people feel the need to have shit like have exclusivity, and I find that dumb and fucking disingenuous, and I don't
Fucking
have fucking
gator
time for
kids,
it.
dude.
Exactly. Like I have no fucking patience or energy for any of that shit.
Hold on. I'm
Go
so
ahead.
sorry. I want to shout him out because Avery already just tagged me on a thing. Ricky Burke went live and he's dressed up as Doctor Disrespect and he said Doctor Disabled is live. That's
Oh,
fucking
hell.
incredible. All right, sorry to interrupt you. That it's his fucking costume is so fucking it.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, so that's why I like, as much as I get into like preserving prototype cartridges and preserving lost media and stuff, I don't actually get actively involved in a lot of the communities because every time I have tried to get into them, it's the weirdest fucking circle jerkiest group of individuals that's their only thing in life that they have. And because of that, they're like, no, we can't share this with the public. Then other people will have it. It's like, yeah, that's why I'm in this. That's why I do this. I want other people to have these experiences. Why should I have it just because I was fortunate enough to have the money for it? Fuck it. Dump the shit online. And so
I just
And
love
so-
the psyche
go
of
ahead.
this dude. It sounds
It's
funny.
so funny that it happens everywhere too. Like you sound like the old heads playing Magic at the card shop.
Yep.
It,
Fucking ridiculous.
dude, you wonder like how it would be to blow up and like be so massive like that, and wonder like how it fucks with you because it does, right? Like I mean, I had to go back, but like Kendrick has always talked about that going into. He's like, I get scared of what this fame thing would do to me. What fame and money would fuck with me with, and that's what happened. He didn't do drugs, he didn't drink, but he fell into a sex addiction and then infidelity. And it's like you gotta wonder
Yeah,
like how much is this power like, because we want to assume we're gonna be like right. We want to assume we'll be well adjusted. Like oh, if I had all this stuff, I'd be who I am. But like, would you like would we really be who we are with all that?
It's specifically for me. It explains to the audience that's weird because I talked about this a while back on the podcast when it happened. During one of my extra life streams, I was streaming Magic the Gathering Arena, and I was drafting and I was doing well. Drafting is just my format that I'm best at.
Oh yeah.
And I usually always top well in drafting. And I was on a win streak. I had like a 3-win streak. And then out of nowhere, I got raided from a large channel. And suddenly I had like 3,000 people watching me. And I was like, and so I started making goofy, weird decisions I wouldn't normally make in a draft.
Sorry,
just
message
because I'm like,
minor.
fuck. Exactly.
It's
No,
crazy.
I started making just goofy drafting choices that I wouldn't normally if I stopped to think about it with a clear head. But my brain was like, no, I need to entertain people now. I can't just play legitimately like I would want to. I need to kind of, up the ante a little. And I just went on a losing streak after that because I was trying so hard to play to a crowd.
But see now flip the situation a little bit. Imagine what you did worked and like you got 5,000 people watching you, right? And imagine then you're like, oh, that was a crazy night. All right, you go to bed, you wake up, and you go stream again. And now imagine, all right, 2,000 people were there waiting for you. All right, now you get like right, like it sounds like elementary just explaining the fame shit, but it's like I genuinely wonder. Sometimes I speculate, I'm like, well, how would I act in there? I hope I have a support system at this point of people. Like if I randomly hit 1 million followers, let's say I hit this dream of mine, I become a director, I hit some movies, I get myself an Academy Award, yada yada. Let's say I do this crazy dream of mine. I would hope I have some down to earth people, right? Like some y'all and that like check me, right? Like hey, reel it back a little bit, right? Because that's kind of what I've always grown to want to do is like sometimes you tell your best friend, hey, you're being an asshole right now, stop. Like that's what a lot of people are missing these days. They don't have that friend to like check you. Like don't do that. Don't like I told a story. I told a story to a lot of my students sometimes, but it's like I like my friend Nick, especially when he was here, we because he lives out in Reno. I'm gonna see him the next week, which will be fun. But there'd be times where it's like we're hanging out, we're talking to people, or like we're not even doing that, but he'll just like message me at 2 o'clock in the morning. He's like, hey, you're being a big asshole right now, you need to chill. And I don't, sometimes when you have that happen, the natural response you want to give is like get defensive with it. It's like, sorry, like this or this. I got to a point where I was like, I'm like, all right, cool, thank you for letting me know, and you
Yep.
work on that. But it's like I wonder like, would that stick around? Would that still hold? Would the fame just pull you, the attention that you get from all these thousands of people pull you away into something different? Are you able like it fucks the way I want to think about it like that, because it falls into all these people all the time, and like they become like that, right? Like you say, like they want to hold all this fame to themselves, like you're saying, like, oh, we can hold this. It's just so weird. It's just a
Yeah.
weird hypothetical to think about.
And that's why, I mean, luckily I know I'll never have to fucking worry about being successful.
You wouldn't
and
want it.
No, I absolutely wouldn't
If
want it.
you
I
woke
would
up,
be the weird recluse that people make up weird rumors about because no one sees them.
well, that's kind of what Kendrick is. Yeah, man's an introvert. See, if there's pictures of him every now and then, and he's just sitting in the back, just like this, just like, yeah, because dude's social battery is fucking wrecked right now. But no, you see, that's what happens. Like, imagine in the habits that we just said, if you woke up, streamed to 10,000 people, I feel like you wouldn't stream anymore. You're like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stream anymore.
Like, if I maintain that success, I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't even like streaming to the 5 people that fucking watch us.
Yeah, the one games gone by we did with Persona 5, David was probably in the happiest mood you ever seen, man, because he was recording offline.
This is wonderful. But no, I hate the idea of being on for a crowd, and so I know that's just not a healthy environment for me. Just full stop.
Anyone, I
So
feel like, and a lot of people, most people can't handle that.
fair. But to reel back into the concept of our story here, so famed leaker Midori, who's been mentioned a lot on this podcast before. So what it ended up turning out to is a group of people that had a lot of information that Midori had access to were like, where the fuck is who is their source? Because all these other people that just hoard this information, they don't share it with anyone. They just like that they are the ones to have this information. And like we're talking about, like they have like the next 5 years of business plans in their own little servers, and they're just happy that they know it and no one else does. So they're all pissed with Midori because they're like, who the fuck's their source? So a lot of them are going around and asking their sources, like, you fucking do you know who the fuck this person is? And a lot of their sources are like, I don't know who the fuck this person is. And it ultimately, they have like the biggest fucking bone to pick because they were so annoyed with all this information going out. And it ended up being this like major document that was dropped about Midori, where they found out that it was a known white dude who, as Midori, was basically LARPing as, you know, a Japanese woman, complete with English and everything, as if they were trying to learn language. But no, dude from, I think it was like Texas or something, that apparently is not only well known for being a white man from America, but is also known as being a serial harasser of game developers. To where like this dude chased people at bars whenever they saw developers at bars and were like hounding them for information, to where they had to get like orders placed against them.
Jesus.
So like this was also a dude that was known and hated. That for the past year has been LARPing as Midori, and ultimately what they found out is all their information came from a single, basically forecast document from Sega, where there's just like, yep, here's all the information. It's like they're like, oh, I got this one source telling me this. Oh, I got my one source telling me this. No, it's because one yearly financial forecast from Sega got into their hands, and that was the one source of all their leaks. So eventually the well was going to dry anyways. There was nowhere literally for them to go at that point because they had no actual sources. And basically this whole community that wanted to hoard information to themselves went nuclear on Midori, revealing them to be the weirdest fucking white dude LARPing as an Asian woman, which then also led into like another leaker ended up being revealed to just be another white dude LARPing as an Asian woman. And it was just like this long, weird string of white people LARPing as Asians on Twitter. I also saw like on book Twitter, there was someone that I guess was going around review bombing other writers in order to promote their book as an Asian writer, just for them to be revealed as not in fact an Asian writer.
Jesus Christ.
Everybody asked, did Midori do a live stream over the situation, or was that a meme?
I think that was just a meme. I don't think they basically outright deleted their Twitter after a while, after defending themselves with such stances as, well, if I had just not identified myself with anything and just gave you information, would it have mattered who I was? No, because then you wouldn't be LARPing as a fucking Asian woman.
Right.
Like, you're missing what the problem is here.
Yeah.
People are funny, David.
Yeah, so that happened, and that was fucking wild to see that Midori was just a white dude LARPing as an Asian woman who couldn't speak English well. And in their brain, they thought that was just a normal thing to do.
Yep, completely 100% normal.
On that note of people being normal, let's wrap that up there. Moment of silence for all the normalcy in life. All right, we won't be live next week. Another week off. Coming back
Hell yeah.
afterwards.
Hell
We will play Helldivers, so David feels good about it.
Hell yeah.
I promise. All right. April already. April says, well, clearly his profile pic is anime girl, so.
yeah. Oh. Duh.
All right. Recording is gonna end.
And these nuts.
I'll do and check in next week on the roster. Yeah, check in next podcast. That way we can talk whatever we missed, and then the week after we should be starting to find normalcy in time. All right. Anyone watching, please don't talk to minors.
Quit it.
Unless you yourself are a minor, then feel free. But like,
No, don't
stop
talk to
watching
anyone
us
at that
too.
point.
Go away.
Don't talk to majors if you're a minor, please.
Yeah, go away. Get some help.
Everyone.